No, 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 no! Wait! Just wait! Russo! I'm gonna watch you die! Where'd they take him?
I don't know anything.
Fair enough. Any lowlife, any maggot piece of shit that I put down, I did it because I liked it! Hell, I loved it! You people, you call me the Punisher, ain't that right? The big bad Punisher. Here I am! Open the door.
There he is!
The series begins with the Punisher ready to strike a Mafia hideout. After numerous criminals have fallen, including the Kingpin, he now has his eyes set on the Irish Mafia, and they were completely unaware that they will get punished that night.
The Russians are dead. The Chinese, they turned tail and ran. The Yakuza have gone silent.
He kills everyone except one man named Grotto, who managed to escape behind the bar. Grotto then finds Matt, also called the Daredevil, to protect him as a lawyer. Matt approaches him, and Grotto shares his story, asking for safety in exchange for information.
We weren't hit by any rival family either. I'm telling you, we were hit by an army. Part of New York that was like goddamn war zone. I'm no choir boy. I'm telling you, I just skirt the surface. I'm telling you, I had nothing to do with that massacre. My people think I'm a traitor or a rat.
So what can Nelson and Murdoch do for you, Mr.?
I'm Grotto. You guys need to get the hell out of here before I end up in the only place hotter than this.
The DA's office is the only place that can make a deal.
Yeah, I'm not walking the DA without representation.
Well, we have a reputation for representing the good people of Hell's Kitchen.
A second chance, that's all I want. That Nelson and Murdoch put their faith in people, and I need a little of that right now.
You have somewhere you can stay?
Guys. She's bleeding.
Karen takes Grotto to the hospital for treatment, while Matt tracks down Turk involved in smuggling guns and learns some information about another gang's hideout. Daredevil then arrives at the meat factory and finds several dead bodies. He discovers one man still alive and questions him about the gang. The man reveals that it's not a gang, but one individual behind everything, leaving Daredevil shocked. The scene shifts to this man, who goes to the hospital to kill Grotto.
Hold it right there.
She starts her car and tries to escape amid heavy gunfire. The man reaches the rooftop and is about to shoot Grotto when Daredevil intervenes.
Bang. You got shot in the head. You're lucky you're not in the morgue.
I should have heard it, you know.
He's a lunatic, Matt. I went to the hospital. I saw what he did.
I'm gonna put on some pants.
No.
It's okay, I know we need to get going.
We don't need to do anything.
Foggy, I don't want to do this.
Karen's safe.
You saw what he did to the Irish. You didn't see what he did to the Mexican cartel. He hung them on meat hooks. When the cops try to take this guy down, it's gonna be one hell of a fight. Lives are gonna be lost. I need to help.
You want another round.
Blood is being shed,
And
Foggy.
you've donated more than your fair share to the cause.
I need to stop him.
Let the NYPD and the DA do their jobs.
Grotto is at the police station. Foggy and Karen are talking to him when the police officer Brett Mahoney arrives and informs them that the DA's office wants to speak with them. The DA's office discusses providing protection for Grotto, but in exchange, they want information on Edger Brass, a notorious figure in the underworld. Initially, Grotto refuses, knowing Brass won't let him live. However, the DA shows Grotto pictures of people killed by the man who attacked the hospital, calling him the Punisher.
Who's Edgar Brass?
Drug dealing butcher was worse by a mile. They sent me after him. I'm as good as dead.
Why Grotto?
Because we know your client has worked with Brass before.
What the hell is that?
You could call it work product.
He's tracking gangs to their home turf and taking them out with military precision.
And if any of his intended marks are lucky enough to escape, he gets to them too. Whether you take it is up to you.
They're calling this one the Punisher.
Terrified by this, Grotto agrees to help. The Punisher is seen at a shop, asking for a radio.
Do I know you?
I need NYPD mobile communications rig.
Sure you're not a cop? Because that's trouble I don't need. It's $1,000. We're talking about a one-of-a-kind item.
Videotape. What about the double barrel under the counter?
I mean, hold on, sure I can't get you anything else? Back door, grannies, or maybe you're in the market for something younger. She's barely 12. For $100, she's all yours. What the hell are you doing? I'm just trying to make a buck.
Matt heads to a location where he hears the sound of police cars, realizing they found the Punisher's hideout. The Punisher arrives at a Dogs of Hell hideout and kills everyone inside. A meeting between Grotto and Brass is about to happen, but Brass is unaware that Grotto is working with the DA to trap him. Grotto wears a hidden microphone and heads toward the meeting. Suddenly, a man attacks Grotto, who turns out to be working for the DA. The DA's real target isn't Brass, but the Punisher, knowing he will go after Grotto. Karen and Foggy are furious with the DA for using Grotto as bait. As they wait, a truck approaches, and the DA assumes the Punisher is inside. However, they soon realize it's a diversion. The Punisher is actually on a nearby rooftop, aiming to kill Grotto, and just in time, Daredevil arrives to stop him.
Grotto's getting away. We have to go get him.
No, you can't go out there.
Foggy.
This place is about to become a war zone.
Take the shot.
No.
Foggy rushes to the building to find Daredevil and the Punisher, but both have escaped before he arrives. Matt learns that the Punisher's real name is Frank. They begin talking, and Matt questions Frank about why he kills people.
You killed everyone else. Why am I still alive? What are you gonna do with all this?
I'll do what's required.
You know what I think?
What's that?
You're still at war.
Everything you do out there in the streets, Red, it doesn't work. Did you know that?
Oh, who did you lose? Was it someone you loved? Well, boo-hoo. Let me tell you something, buddy. Everybody's lost someone.
What kind of name is the devil of Hell's Kitchen anyway? I mean, really?
People don't have to die.
Come on, Red, you believe that?
I believe it's not my call, and it ain't yours either.
I think you're a man who can't finish the job. I think that you're a coward. You know, you're one bad day away from being me.
Suddenly, a man arrives, sensing people on his rooftop. Frank talks to the man, who was once in the military, and gets permission to stay on the roof.
Hey, Marine.
Yeah.
Semper Fi. Listen carefully, okay? Are you listening? Yeah? How about now? You listening? I think that the people I kill need killing. That's what I think.
You left men hanging from meat hooks.
They got off easy, in my opinion.
You run around this city like it's your damn shooting gallery.
Yeah, what do you do? You throw them in jail. A week, a day later, they're back on the streets doing the same goddamn thing.
A human being who did a lot of stupid shit, maybe even evil, but had one small piece of goodness in him. And then you come along and that one tiny flicker of light gets snuffed out forever.
Yeah, nobody got hurt or didn't deserve it.
Yeah. What about you, Frank? What happens the day someone decides you deserve it?
They better not miss.
You ever doubt yourself, Frank?
Not even for a second.
Really?
I think there's no good in the filth that I put down. That's what I think.
And how do you know?
I just know. I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call. That's what I think. I think you hit them and they get back up. I hit them and they stay down.
People you murder deserve another chance.
What, to kill again?
Try again, Frank. There is goodness in people, even in you. And you're gonna have to kill me because I'm never gonna stop coming for you.
When Matt regains consciousness, he finds a gun in his hand, while Frank is beating Grotto.
Stop it, Frank! He doesn't deserve to die just because you caught him stealing cars!
Is that what you think? You were doing a little more than that a few months ago.
What are you trying to prove, Frank?
Frank, I'm not gonna shoot you, Frank.
Nothing happened. I'm sorry.
Just shut up! Stop talking, Grotto!
You say it.
Yeah, I didn't know. The old lady was in the house. She started screaming. I begged her to stop.
What did you do?
She saw my face. I had no choice.
You still think this piece of shit is worth saving?
I'm not gonna shoot him.
After confessing, Grotto breaks down and begs for his life. Matt tries to convince Frank not to kill him, arguing there are other ways to punish him. Frank tells Matt there's a gun in his hand with one bullet, giving Matt the choice to kill either him or Grotto.
I'm losing patience, Reyes. You dare shoot him? Nah, it's a bad idea. You see, he'll kill again.
Killing him's not gonna bring anybody back.
Nah, but it will keep him from hurting anybody else.
No.
You don't do it, his death's on you. Either way, you're a killer. Two!
What kind of choice is that?
I'm gonna get you out of here. I'm gonna get you out of here.
Why didn't you stop him?
Frank gets up and shoots the tires of the Dogs of Hell's motorcycles, causing a massive explosion. A brutal fight breaks out between Daredevil and the Punisher. The Dogs of Hell gang arrives, looking for Frank, but Matt refuses to hand him over. He carries Frank's unconscious body to the elevator. However, by the time Matt gets to the elevator, Frank has already woke up and escaped. Karen is studying the files on the Punisher and discovers his real name and history. The Irish gang is holding a funeral for people killed by the Punisher. A man named Finn, whose son was among the dead, arrives. Finn makes an immediate impression. When one of his associates tries to calm him down, Finn kills him with an ice pick to the eye. His next goal is to hunt down the man responsible for killing his son and stealing his money. The gang starts tracking down Frank by beating their way closer to his hideout. The gang visits a shop where Frank had been, learning more about him. They then go to Frank's apartment but only find his dog. Finn inspects the house and realizes Frank was a military soldier. As they leave, Frank is watching them from a distance. He then tends to his injuries and afterward checks on the money he stole from the Irish gang hidden in his van. Karen tracks down the janitor who once knew about Frank. He tells her that when Frank was brought to the hospital, he was near death with a bullet in his head and his heart stopped for a minute, but he just couldn't die and quickly recovered while asking the janitor to take him home. He agreed and took him to his place, which later got him fired. Frank is sitting in a park watching a merry-go-round when the Irish gang finds him.
You want to come with us, or you want to make a mess?
We want him alive!
They're surrounded, son. I'll be a good lad and drop the iron.
Karen breaks into Frank's house. She finds signs of a family life, including a room for Frank's daughter, Lisa. She also sees photos of Frank with his wife and children, along with evidence of his military service. The house has been left exactly as it was, and Karen becomes emotional.
Who did this?
Go to hell. The one they call Punisher.
Where is he?
you're showing me something I haven't seen before. Because your killing spree has all the signs of a man seeking retribution.
How'd that feel?
Boys, hold him down. I was hoping it would come to this.
Take that side.
It seems like you've taken a liking to this mutt.
Hey, let him go! Your money's in a van. Okay, it's in a van.
I'll keep you alive until the cash is safe at hand. Yeah?
Yeah, I got the case. Hold on.
Jimmy! Who killed my family? Who cares? They're gonna pay. Every single goddamn one of them.
They will.
After the fight, Daredevil helps Frank to a nearby cemetery. Frank opens up about the last day of his daughter's life, and Matt listens intently. As they finish talking, the police arrive. Brett goes to arrest Daredevil, but Matt tells him to take credit for capturing Frank. Brett agrees, letting Daredevil go. Matt insists people need to believe the system works.
My name is Matthew Murdock.
I know who you are.
We don't want money for our services. We're not interested in fame or free advertising. We're very good at making powerful enemies. Someone in the DA's office wants you dead, Mr. Castle. And we'd like to know why.
Kinda like what you did for Grotto.
Karen, Foggy.
You want answers? So do we.
Why were you in my house?
Who's in there? You three out. Get your things and go.
We have a little bit of business here left.
Frank Castle already has counsel. Matt Murdock, is it?
Yeah, pleasure to meet you.
Leave this ward, leave this man, leave this entire case behind before you wake up 6 feet under the ash that
We have our case files to back up our story. How's your side looking?
Fact of the matter is, Ms. Reyes, the only person who shouldn't be here right now is you. Unlike his current legal counsel, we can actually help him.
You already did. Says Nelson and Murdoch was lawyers now.
Finally feel like we have the upper hand against that woman.
Frank asks Foggy to leave so he can speak with Karen privately. Though initially resistant, Foggy leaves. Karen questions him about the day he lost his family. Frank explains that he heard a shout, and many gang members were near when his family got killed.
But you and I know you and your family. You were at the carousel that day. How much can you remember?
Saying about what I remember.
Yes, it is.
I heard a shout. Scream.
Who did you see?
The cartel. Irish bikers. My job was to keep them safe. I didn't.
The questions can wait a minute. I'll just
stay.
Karen tells him that she was fleeing the hospital with Grotto, but asserts that Frank never kills innocent people. Frank is emotional as he talks about his family. Foggy arrives and informs them that Frank might avoid execution, but could face life imprisonment if he admits guilt. Frank refuses to plead guilty and insists on speaking the truth.
How does the defendant plead?
I plead not guilty. You hear that, witch? I'm gonna watch you burn right along
Counselor,
with me. You
please
hear me?
control your
Do you hear me?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Court date will be set upon consultation with the DA's office. We are adjourned.
3 hours ago, he was pleading guilty. Why did he change his mind?
Maybe he just wants the truth about Grotto, about his family, about the cover-up.
We need to find Matt before this goes wide. Tell him everything's about to change.
Frank is washing his face as he prepares to move from jail to court. The court hearing has started, with some people in favor of Frank and others against him. The judge says that after hearing all the suggestions, they will have to conclude Frank's fate.
I think he's an animal. A fascist without the authority. If you ask me,
It's like the only thing protecting us is Frank.
I just moved my family to New York, and now we're moving out.
Hero. That's what we should be calling him. Doing the things the cops won't do.
For putting all the thieves and muggers and rapists in the morgue where they belong.
If anyone can kill anyone in this town, where does the insanity end?
Let those bastards feel scared walking down the street for a change.
Karen then enters Frank's room and explains the plan to him, but Frank refuses because he does not want to be labeled as insane. Karen insists, warning him that if he keeps denying it, he will remain in jail forever and will never be able to find the people involved in his family's murder. Frank still disagrees, but Karen reveals that the people he believes are responsible for his family's deaths are not actually the killers. She has done research and found other people involved, and Frank is shocked by this revelation. Foggy and Karen are sitting in the courtroom, feeling nervous because Matt, who is crucial to saving Frank, hasn't arrived yet. The DA gives her statement, and then Foggy, though nervous, delivers his statement.
Frank Castle brutally tortured and murdered 30 people. 30 that we know of. Most violent executioner. And justice does not belong in the hands of a man like Frank Castle. This isn't the Wild West. This man is no hero. He's a serial killer. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Mr. Castle is as much a victim. No, he's not. Aside from being a decorated Marine, the man before you is a good husband and an excellent father. But his wife, young son, and daughter were brutally murdered by criminals. See, Frank Castle never came home. He just traded in one war zone for another to cover up that system's mistakes. The prosecution wants blood. So all I'm asking of you today, keep an open mind.
That's a pretty thick slice of bullshit there, Counselor.
Colonel, how long have you known the defendant?
I'd say the better part of a decade.
How Lieutenant Frank Castle won the Navy Cross?
Lieutenant Frank Castle was part of a small team. He was conducting a close target reconnaissance in the vicinity of the Hindu Kush. Lieutenant Castle wanted to abort. Officer in charge said no. Within the first hour, the officer in charge of that mission got his arm blown off. Frank went to the LZ, all by himself. Draw the bastards away. Frank Castle, standing there, grinning. 32 Moors surrounding him, all dead. I would say Frank Castle is a man who would gladly give his life to keep others safe. Lieutenant Frank Castle that I know is a hero.
No more questions, Your Honor.
My father served in Vietnam. He said the only people who truly know what happened are the ones that were there.
Well, perhaps I wasn't clear. That officer that didn't listen to Frank, got his men trapped. You're looking at him.
How'd you miss that in this file?
All the names were redacted.
Not good.
How many of your other patients witnessed their families being brutally murdered right in front of them?
He's the only one.
You killed my dad! I don't give a shit what you've been through. He was my dad, and now he's gone.
I did that. That kid, I took his father from him. I did that.
The jury has to know what happened to you, what you go through every single day. Look, that might not be important to you, but it is important to me. All of them, they all think that you're a monster. But I know that you're not. You're not.
The next day, when Matt arrives at court, he tries to talk to Karen and explain, but she is too upset and refuses to listen. Foggy comes up to Matt and reminds him that they need to focus on Frank's case. The trial begins, and suddenly, a police officer whispers something into Frank's ear, and Frank starts thinking intensely.
Please state your name for the record.
Frank Castle.
Frank, may I call you Frank? What happened that day? The day your family was so tragically killed. I understand it's difficult.
Do you?
You don't want to tell us? I'll tell you. You're the kind of man this city needs. We all need men and women who are willing to take the fight themselves, the kind of people who risk their lives. We need heroes. Frank Castle wanted to help, but he took it too far. He's not a common criminal. He's not malicious in intent. Frank Castle is actually a good man. He needs help. Our help. And now you have to decide what kind of jury you want to be.
Can I say something?
You may.
Ones I put down, the people I killed. I want you to know that I'd do it all again. Any lowlife, any maggot piece of shit that I put down, I did it because I liked it. Hell, I loved it. You people, you call me the Punisher, ain't that right? The big bad Punisher. Here I am. And anybody who came here today, hear me whine, hear me beg, I'm guilty. I'll kill every one of them. I'll kill every single one.
I can only imagine what was going on in Matt's head when all their hard work turns into Frank yapping about killing everyone, which is going to lead him to execution, or at best, life in prison.
And I did it because I liked it. Hell, I loved it. I'm sitting here, I'm just itching.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
After they're gonna get me to stop from doing what I want to do? Well, that ain't happening.
You provoked him.
I didn't provoke that. What are you talking
I
about?
had it lined up for you. I'm glad we lost. You hear me? I'm glad.
Frank gets transferred in jail, which is heavily guarded. The guards take him outside where Wilson Fisk, the kingpin, is waiting for him. Fisk smiles when he sees Frank, and it's clear that something sinister is about to unfold.
I see you got my message. I'm glad we have this chance to meet. What happened to your family that day?
Don't you do that. You don't talk about my family, you got that?
There's a man. Here. In the big box. This man. He most definitely had a hand in the massacre in the park. He's not Irish. It's not cartel. I believe that he facilitated the deal between the three groups that you've been targeting. He controls much of this prison. Made my life here difficult.
Well, I don't help. Shitbag has been mob bosses.
Has been.
You heard what I said.
I'm simply proposing an arrangement.
I don't do arrangements.
Yes, I benefit from your actions. But the tide raises all ships, Mr. Castle. If you don't want my help, fine. Enjoy prison.
How would it work?
We can get you to him. We have one guard on our side, but you only have a 7-minute window to reach Dutton, get your answers, and get out.
After this, you and me, we're done.
Yes, we're done. The shiv is the best I can offer. Something tells me you'll make do.
Karen goes to the publisher's office to find more details about the case. Together, they decide to visit the doctor who had conducted the autopsies on the people killed. Karen and the publisher go to meet the doctor, and they discover that he was actually an undercover policeman sent by the authorities to keep an eye on the entire situation. Karen realizes that the police knew in advance that a fight between the three gangs was going to happen, but they did nothing to prevent it. They could have stopped the violence, but chose not to. Karen also discovers that Frank's family was killed intentionally to cover up the mistakes made by the police and the district attorney. Realizing this, Karen decides to continue working on the case. As the guards change shifts, Frank heads to Dutton's cell.
You make any noise, anything at all, I'm gonna open you up like a bag. I'll watch you bleed out all over this floor. The carousel head. I hear you were there. You goddamn lunatic. The hell were you doing there? You tell me who pulled the trigger, who made the order. You're not as dumb as they thought we were. You realize what it was. Feds infiltrated one of the gangs, I'm not sure which. They found out how big the deal was. There were almost 100 bangers that day. And every finger found a trigger. All I know is he had a line on pure heroin shipped from the Middle East. They called him the Blacksmith. And when they realized it wasn't gonna show, someone started shooting. This crusade of yours, it's never gonna end, right? Open the door.
I couldn't have done it without you.
Got done? Holy shit, man! There he is.
You're dead!
Open up!
Go.
Are you sure that's a good idea, Mr. Fisk?
Go now!
Tried to have me killed.
Would have been cleaner that way, but you got what you wanted. Dutton admitted to some involvement in your tragedy. I needed to close that loop. I had already made a deal with the rest of the guards. You have a gift, Mr. Castle. How could one man be capable of such violence?
Why am I still alive?
Because plans change. Because if you want to survive, you adapt. Release him.
Mr. Fisk,
Do it now! I'm in control now. And I've set you free.
You want me on the outside, so I step on every piece of shit I see. That way nobody gets strong, and we city's yours for the taking.
When I'm finally let out of this cage, it won't be to wage war, it will be to win one. I've given you a chance to walk free, to find your justice, to kill your way to justice for your family.
Frank agrees to the deal, but warns Fisk that when Fisk comes out, only one of them will remain alive. Either Frank will kill Fisk, or Fisk will kill him. Frank is then released from jail. As he steps outside, a car arrives, and someone takes Frank away. The trio meet with Reyes. She is frightened, believing the Punisher might try to kill her. Karen questions her about the photos she found in a file. Reyes admits that the DA knew a gang war was going to take place, and that they were trying to catch a major Mafia figure known as the Blacksmith. However, the Mafia boss never showed up because they found out the police were involved.
Our undercover was killed and Castle's family.
You tried to kill him and ruin us to save your own political ass. You know what, lady?
I found this in my daughter's backpack before sending her off to school. You know, once he gets his sights set on a target, he never stops.
Where's your daughter now?
Ms. Reyes, it's highly unlikely Frank Castle would target your family. He has his own internal code.
He's coming after my child.
What do you want from us?
If he contacts you, just let us know. I just want to keep my family.
Get down!
Chaos breaks out, and Reyes is killed in the shooting. Foggy is also shot in the shoulder. Matt learns that Fisk was the one who helped the Punisher escape from jail. He goes to the prison to confront Fisk. He freed the Punisher so he could kill criminals, paving the way for Fisk to rule the city when he gets out of prison.
Frank Castle is a killing machine, and you set him free, which means you're aiming a loose cannon at someone, and we both know it.
These days are hectic in Hell's Kitchen. Lunatic shooters, gang wars. The fate of New York City is out of my hands for once.
That's bullshit.
But we're finished here.
Vanessa. I remember her very well.
Believe us.
I will use every legal loophole. I can break you without breaking a single law. I can make sure Vanessa never sets foot on American soil again. I can prove she was an accomplice to every one of your crimes. You can visit her, but you'll never live with her. This is your jungle. This is your blood. You screw with me now, just a little bit, and you'll never really be with your one and only Vanessa.
Speak her name again!
You did set him free.
You ask such small questions, Mr. Murdoch. I will dismantle the lives of the two amateurs that put me in here. And while I try and sleep in this bleak place...
No, I put you here. Not enough.
My mistakes. Everything I took for granted.
You're regaining power in here.
Yes, ask my lawyer. He'll deny it. Ask the guards. They'll deny it. I've had a lot of time to reflect on my journey here. Mr. Murdoch! Yes, the son of a boxer. The two of you took the laurels. You'll both take the blame. I'll chop both the heads off of that snake. The one thing that keeps me warm is the thought that I will look down upon this city with the woman that I love.
Karen is at the office, speaking to the publisher. She tells him that if the Punisher is responsible for the recent killings, his next target will be the doctor. They rush to the doctor's place, only to find his dead body. Later, Karen returns home, where Frank suddenly arrives.
Hands on your head or I will unload this thing, I swear to Christ!
Was it me? Get out of here. Stay low. Stay low.
Karen insists that the Punisher wasn't responsible, but Brett disagrees and assigns police protection for her. After leaving the station, Karen secretly meets Frank in a parking garage. They head to a cafe to discuss how to find Blacksmith.
And ultimately, I think you probably belong in jail, but you never lie to me.
Does he? The lawyer. Not the other one. Murdoch.
Hard person to get to know. I just think that inside he's...
You love him, right?
He's the kind of man who hurts people.
So is that supposed to mean something?
So those are the people that you get out of your life.
People that can hurt you, the ones that can really hurt you, are the ones that are close enough to do it. My old lady shouldn't just break my heart. But she'll never hurt me again. You see, I'll never feel that. So hold on to it. Now you need to go in the back. You get the waitress.
Who are they?
Just some guys who are about to walk into a diner for the last time.
You parked me outside like bait.
the hell? 41st Street, the pier.
Frank tracks down a man who claims to be Blacksmith and starts beating him, but Daredevil arrives and tells Frank that he's not the real Blacksmith. Frank, furious, attacks Daredevil, but Matt manages to calm him down, convincing Frank that they're both after the same person and should work together.
Just couldn't let me have it, could you? You just couldn't let me have it.
I can't let you start a war for the wrong
Maybe
reasons.
war's what I need. They killed my kids. Don't you get that? Do right by them. I need them gone. It's got to be permanent. It's got to be finished. I understand. You're right. My way isn't working. Baby, you cross over to my side of the line. You don't get to come back from that. Kill him!
Karen visits Colonel Skoonover, a former colleague of Frank's, to ask for his help, but soon realizes that something is off about him. She quickly figures out that Skoonover is actually the real Blacksmith. He pulls a gun on Karen and forces her to leave with him.
Could have let the story go down with that boat. Here, pull over here. Losing 100 million in heroin would have been worth it to take you down. You could have been rich. Hey, maybe you could have taken your family to the Bahamas. Go back to the car.
What's he talking about? Kandahar, what's that? What happened?
Go.
Tell me for Maria. Tell me for Lisa. Tell me for Frank. You shut up! No, Frank! You do this and you are the monster that they say you are. Do you hear me? That's it. You're dead to me. Do you hear me?
Come on. They call you the Punisher. Prove it. One shot. You stupid son.
Others bloody the streets in the hope they can stop the tide, the crime, the cruelty. A hero lives here, on the street, among us. Look in the mirror and see yourself for what you truly are.
What am I doing here, Matt?
I'm Daredevil.
The bikers, the cartels, the kitchen Irish, they're all gone. I got a family of my own. I don't. Oh, God.
Get a room, you dirty bastards.
¡Pinche Punisher de mierda! ¡Sano y salvo en México! ¡Con eso viene a Juárez! ¡Aquí muere, cabrón!
Llegó sobreviviente del cartel, mereció la recompensa.
The story then moves 6 months forward in New York. Frank now works at a construction site under a fake name, Pete Castiglione. Among the workers, a boy named Donnie Chavez often becomes a target of bullying. Frank notices everything, but chooses to stay silent. One worker, Lance, intentionally tries to provoke Frank. Donnie goes to Frank, who is sitting alone on the terrace. He offers Frank a sandwich and tries to befriend him, but Frank ignores him and warns him to stay away.
Goddamn guy. He's crazy, Lance. What are you gonna do? You know, if they don't ask you to work extra, they don't pay you for it, right? Type of thing. Because of you, we're getting less overtime.
Kick his ass, Lance.
Shit. You don't want me for an enemy, man.
I'm Donnie. That's why you come up here? My grandma makes the best sandwich. A man's gotta eat. One man chain gang. You like that movie?
I take one of those sandwiches, you start talking.
Meanwhile, a war veteran support group is shown, led by a man named Curtis. He tries to help the people with their traumas. After the session ends, Frank meets Curtis privately. Their conversation reveals that Frank and Curtis served together in Afghanistan and have remained good friends since then. Curtis encourages Frank to live a normal, happy life.
Anybody that had anything to do with what happened to Maria and the kids are dead. Hell, if you would have asked me, I would have helped you do it.
I know that.
Now, the only person you're punishing is yourself.
Thank you for the coffee.
One of the workers talks privately with his friend Paulie about his financial trouble. Paulie suggests to rob a poker game, and Lance agrees. Lance and Paulie think Frank might have overheard their robbery plan, so they start provoking him.
Were you listening to us?
Everywhere I turn, there you are, pissing me off.
Where you going? Where you going?
Oh, where you going? Oh, you want to do something with that hammer?
That hammer's gonna find a new home up your ass.
Suddenly, one of Lance's friends has an accident. He falls and breaks his arm. Donnie asks Frank to help them since he was a Marine and knows about field medicine, but he just looks at them and walks away. Later, Lance wants to abort the robbery since they are one man short, but end up recruiting Donnie as the final member. Once everything was ready, they head to the location and rob the gangsters.
That's Boogaloo.
Nobody move! Nobody! Or you get what he got!
Bag the cash!
You boys should leave while you can.
Shut up, greaseball.
You're all dead.
Come on, let's go.
Let's go! Hurry up! We don't get off game! We don't get shit!
You really screwed this up, Donald.
Both!
Hey, sleepyhead. Hey. I'm gonna go get breakfast.
No!
Lance and Polly decide that Donnie is now a risk because he dropped his ID at the robbery scene. They plan to eliminate Donnie to cover up their crime. Donnie begs for his life, promising to leave town, but they ignore him and beat him badly.
Turn it off!
Shut it off.
Tonight just gets better and better.
No, please! Get me out! Polly!
Take the money. Take the money, man. No!
Dog.
It's in the basement of a restaurant. Lanello's in Little Italy.
I'm gonna find a home for this.
No! Help!
No one sleeps until we get these guys. Start with this kid, Donald Chavez.
Christ. Welcome back, Frank.
At Homeland Security's office, Agent Dinah Madani is introduced. She meets her new partner, Agent Sam Stein. Dinah is upset because she had been transferred from Afghanistan to New York as she was investigating the murder of a local police officer named Ahmad Zubair. Dinah reveals to Sam that Zubair was a member of the Afghan National Police and had discovered that some soldiers were secretly involved in heroin trafficking. American soldiers eliminated Zubair to cover up their drug trafficking.
The U.S. government gave Ahmed Zubair our word, and it got him killed.
A place like this, who knows what got him killed? But I will not stand for insubordinate, are we clear? Otherwise, you can quit.
You're the boss.
Yes, I am.
We are then shown another flashback of Frank and his kids on a ferry. They talk and have fun, but when his son mentions war that Frank was, he becomes angry.
Dad goes away, so we can kill lots of Hajis. Anyway, Dad.
Don't you ever say anything like that again. You got that?
Back in the present, he goes to a diner, where Micro calls him and asks Frank to watch a videotape he left at Frank's house. After the call, Frank runs outside and thinks Micro is on a rooftop, but instead, Micro left a burner phone for Frank to contact him. He then has a nightmare about a masked Marine shooting his wife Maria, and then watches the video of him and other Marines deleting Ahmed Zubair. The video really shakes him up. The next day, Frank asks Curtis if he has mentioned anything about him being alive or heard about Micro, and Curtis replies that he hasn't.
What does he want? Guy says he's got answers that I need. He said that what happened to Maria and the kids, it was because of something that I did. Come on, talk to me. What were you into? That shit that follows you home no matter how hard you try, follows you home. And Maria, she knew it. She knew it, the kids knew it. Come on, you didn't kill your family. What if I did?
Dinah and Sam talk about how September 11th and the war on terrorists changed things. Dinah believes U.S. Marines eliminated Zubair after seeing a video of Marines torturing him, but the video was stolen from her. She thinks powerful people are stopping her from investigating. Dinah also learns that Frank's friend, Billy Russo, now runs a private military company called Anvil in New York. She convinces her boss, Wolf, to let her meet Russo by saying she needs training at Anvil's law enforcement facility.
Say, lady, I'm real hungry. You got any change? Please.
Still all hard, huh?
Things got this bad, Frank?
I'm flirting with the idea of going full man bun. There's somebody that knows that I'm still alive.
You should know me better than that. I would never...
You want to say no, you say no, but look, this guy, he calls himself Micro, right? Like that's supposed to mean something. He says something about us both being dead men, right?
How do I contact you?
Later, Karen asks her boss, Mitchell Ellison, about Micro. He remembers a man who mentioned Micro selling government secrets and being eliminated. However, the story was not published because the source was not on record, and Wolf made him stop the story. Ellison offers Karen the article. Micro is at home, watching his family on cameras while also keeping an eye out for Frank on surveillance. Dinah and Sam do a simulated hostage rescue at Anvil, where Sam accidentally eliminated a hostage. They meet Russo, who talks about government contracts with the DHS. Dinah tries to ask Russo about Kandahar, but Wolf stops her. Russo suggests they meet outside work to talk more. Frank meets Karen at a park bench. She gives him information about Micro, including his real name, David Lieberman, and his address. She says she will help, but only if Frank promises not to eliminate anyone.
It's an unconfirmed story about an intelligence operative that got caught leaking covert information. Lieberman was shot and killed trying to escape arrest by Homeland Security. Kirsten Wolf got it shut down. You know what? It's all in the story, Frank. Just believe it or not, actually care what happens to you. Be careful.
Frank fakes an accident by stepping in front of Sarah Lieberman's car to get inside her house. Sarah invites him inside to help with a cut on his head. Micro, worried about Frank being near his family, grabs a gun and drives over. Frank takes the chance to look around the house while asking for coffee. He connects with Sarah over their shared grief and offers to check the car for damage.
I tell you what, I'll take off, all right? I'll just sip this coffee.
No, it's okay, please, sorry. Finish your coffee.
Sorry about your loss, Sarah. I lost my family. Not a day goes by, right? You wish things were different.
Frank shaves his head in his apartment. He then puts on a ski mask and breaks into Wolf's house through the chimney. When Wolf returns, Frank surprises him and they have a fierce fight.
Whoever you are, this is the stupidest thing you've ever done. There's many ways to get the truth out of him.
Look, Lieberman was a traitor. He was selling secrets.
Way I see it, there's no way a guy like you kills a suspect in a case that big. No way. Whatever you think. Tonight's the night you're gonna die, Frank. We knew exactly where you'd be. Exactly where to go to get you.
What are you saying? You killed my family to get to me.
Misdirection. It was a calculated risk. You understand, right? Now close your eyes, Frank. I'm gonna do you a favor.
Gun's empty, asshole. Just you, me, and the truth now.
Dinah meets Russo at a bar, and they talk about his military service. Russo admits he enjoyed killing people in Afghanistan, especially when he and Frank fought to save their squad. Their conversation ends when Dinah is called to investigate Wolf's murder. The next day, Frank gets a call from Micro, who praises him for avoiding capture. Frank tricks Micro into a chase with Curtis's help. They end up at a cemetery where Micro finds a grave with his name. Curtis gives Micro Frank's message that if Micro hurts Curtis, Frank will go after his family.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Who are you? Why isn't he here?
He decided he doesn't like what you're selling.
Hold on. Hey! What are we doing? What are we doing? You're wondering if I'm some kind of a decoy to lure you out? I'm not. That alarm, that means that we got 3 minutes before it gets awful warm in here.
Let's say one time.
Are you gonna help me out? Yeah.
No bullshit.
You don't know a goddamn thing. The same people that killed me.
All right.
Micro tells Frank that he used to work for the NSA and found a video showing American soldiers eliminating Zubair. He decided to send the video to Dinah. Later, while driving with his family, agents led by Wolf surrounded their car.
Stay in the car, no matter what happens.
What are you doing?
Hey, come back here. Come on.
Don't move! I'm not a criminal. I'm an NSA analyst. Sarah, go.
David! Drop the weapon!
Sarah!
No! No!
Cell phone saved my life.
At the vet center, Curtis is cleaning up when Russo shows up. He gives Curtis a check to help pay the rent. He also offers Curtis a job, but Curtis says he is done with that life. Then we see a flashback where Frank, Russo, and other soldiers are picked to join a secret team called Operation Cerberus, led by Agent Rollins and Colonel Skoonover. Everyone agrees without a problem. Later, in their camp, Russo and Frank bond over a poem, showing their close friendship.
You read a poem. I didn't know you could read. Sorry about that.
At the vet center, young vet Lewis shares a story about how his superiors lied to the public, blaming enemy fire for a friendly fire incident that eliminates soldiers. Lewis feels betrayed and confused. O'Connor, an angry Vietnam vet, tries to feed Lewis's anger and mistrust.
Read this, kid. You're right to feel betrayed. There's plenty of men feel just the same.
Frank discovers that the countdown on Micro's computer is not for an explosion, but for a video broadcast. Micro then confronts Frank about their past actions, specifically mentioning Zubair. This triggers a flashback to when the video was filmed. Zubair pleads for his life as Rollins tortures him, eventually revealing that he does not know anything. Rollins turns to Frank and orders him to eliminate Zubair.
What's he saying?
Nothing useful.
I'm not a terrorist. I have a family.
Do it.
I have a family.
We desecrating corpses now?
I'm getting the bullet.
Looks to me like we're hiding evidence.
Micro tries to convince Frank to team up with him and trust him, but Frank is stubborn and refuses. Micro talks about how both he and Frank were betrayed by their country. The alarm goes off, and after typing in the code, Micro grabs a pen. The pen is actually a needle, and he uses it to stab Frank, knocking him out. Lewis wakes up from a nightmare at home and accidentally shoots at his dad. He misses, gets scared, apologizes, and runs off, showing how PTSD affects him. Meanwhile, at Micro's place, Frank wakes up with his gun in hand. Micro is calmly drinking coffee. Frank asks why Micro did not try to eliminate him. Micro explains again that they should be on the same side.
You and me have both done things that we would like to take back, but we're not the bad guys here. They are. Right?
Need you gentlemen for a briefing. 5 minutes.
Sure.
That we won't be able to land anywhere near the compound without alerting the enemy, so we're gonna land here.
No air support? Sir, this looks like an ambush. I think this is a trap. I think it's a trap because it's exactly what I would do. I trust Frank's instincts, sir.
And I trust hard-earned, thoroughly vetted intelligence.
I think if we do this, men are gonna die.
I pointed. Now you need to go shoot.
You can get those mortars ranged in, they're gonna pound us into the goddamn ground.
I'm going.
And I'm coming with you.
But you gotta stay here. You keep them safe. Cover!
Did you get him? Did you kill the target?
You don't like the way that it smells? Get out!
Your Operation Cerberus? There's no official record, there's no congressional approval. They turned you into a hitman, Frank. But you and me, we want the same thing right now. So work with me.
The next day, Lewis is digging a trench in his backyard, trying to recreate the comfort of war. We then see Frank wearing a hoodie and pointing a gun at Turk. Frank needs weapons and ammo, but Turk does not have much to offer, just a custom pink rifle. Frank knocks him out, and the mission to get supplies does not go as planned. He returns at Micro's hideout with nothing but a pink rifle, disappointing him.
How we do?
M4, M40, ammo and grenades, right?
He said that the whole shipment went to someone else.
You want to go up against Agent Orange with the pink Ruger and no ammo? Is that what you want to do, Lieberman?
Dinah and Sam are discussing about a gun shipment from the Greeks that is on its way. They are planning an operation to seize the guns. An older man, Raffi, enters and tells her that the investigation into Wolf's death is being taken over by someone else, which frustrates Dinah. Lewis is in his backyard bunker, where Curtis shows up to try and talk him into returning to the group, but Lewis does not listen.
Now you're sleeping in a hole in November.
I don't have nightmares out here.
You want some advice? War is the only chance you got at doing something redeeming. I didn't get nothing over there. I lost it.
We're gonna sign up with a private military group called Anvil.
How about you come on out of there and we go talk more about it?
No, I'm good.
Well, you know how to find me.
Frank goes to Sarah's house to help with her insurance paperwork, while Micro watches from his base. There is a moment with Micro's daughter fixing the garbage disposal, and Frank reassures her that she is smart. Sarah talks about how the kids are handling Micro's death. Frank apologizes and offers to fix her headlight. Next, we cut to Anvil, where Billy Russo is giving a speech to newly appointed recruits. Lewis is also among them.
Is anybody here making $100,000 a year? Is it because you're not worth the investment? You will have the opportunity to fight for a living, and you will be well compensated. A new brotherhood to call your own, something to fight for, to live for.
Micro hacks into the Homeland Security site to get info on the Greek gun shipment. He finds all the intel, including Dinah and Sam's tactical plan. We then see a shady warehouse where criminals are torturing each other over cars. Frank appears, throwing a grenade and taking out the criminals with his gun.
You are in the wrong place at the wrong time. Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't know who you are, man. Just let me go. I didn't see.
What, are you gonna puke?
Not gonna.
Hey, do not leave your DNA for the police, all right? Just...
What about him?
Not our problem.
Frank leaves off with a beautiful Ferrari, while Micro goes off with a van, and together they get ready to stop the gun deal. Micro begins to feel nervous and says he can't do it, but Frank challenges him to stop being scared and to act. He gets frustrated, and Frank responds by saying that being angry is better than being afraid all the time. Dinah and her team are in the middle of the operation to seize the guns. Suddenly, music starts playing over their radios, messing things up. Frank jumps on top of a moving truck and takes control, driving the truck to a parking lot.
Drop the guns, turn around!
That's the second time the truck's passed there. It's a loop. Someone's feeding us a goddamn loop.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
Just get there. It's being ripped off.
What did I do?
Be still. You're all banged up. You stay out of my way, Madani.
She is angry and thinks about what happened. At Anvil, Curtis talks to Russo about Lewis, warning him that Lewis is about to snap. Russo, not too concerned, goes to talk to Lewis. He asks about the foxhole in Lewis's backyard and says he is at risk. Lewis gets angry and starts bad-mouthing Curtis. Russo offers him a job, but not as a shooter, which makes Lewis furious.
I will find you something to do right here. Are you gonna give me a job mopping floors? You're just another liar in command. Okay, we're done. You need to leave.
Your brotherhood is bullshit.
Then we see Frank at the hideout, organizing his weapons on a rack. Micro gets upset that Frank helped Dinah after the crash, and Frank jokes that Micro is nagging him like a worried friend. Frank then goes to fix Sarah's car headlight, just like he promised. While working, he talks with her daughter. Micro's son shows up and acts rude, and Frank teases him back. Sarah then invites Frank to dinner on Sunday, while Micro watches everything through his cameras and feels sad. Dinah meets with Raffi and Sam to talk about the failed mission. While looking at pictures of her wrecked Mustang, she seriously says she loved that car because her dad gave it to her for her 21st birthday, and now she cannot let it go. Dinah asks to come back to work. He asks her if she knows anything important, but Dinah keeps the truth about Frank to herself, since everyone thinks he is dead.
Someone from your unit risked their lives filming this, Frank.
Gunnar Anderson, he's wearing the camera. Bible guy, like to quote scripture, hell of a soldier. He knew what we were doing was wrong.
Our job at the CIA is to identify and contain any dangers to it. I don't know a single operative with any years under their belt who hasn't had to do something that gave them nightmares, so that the rest of America can sleep peacefully. My name is William Rollins. Welcome to the CIA.
Dinah tells Sam that Frank is alive and stole the guns. Sam gets angry and says he will not lie if anyone asks. Meanwhile, Rollins is secretly listening to their conversation through hidden microphones in Dinah's office.
Special agent in charge of Homeland Security investigations called me up.
Pulled her out of burning cars.
Take it David Lieberman had the answers you were looking for.
Some people came after me, came after him. I need to find these bastards that took him from me, Karen. I gotta kill him.
So where does that end, Frank?
So what do you want, Karen? What should I do? Should I let it go?
No, but I want there to be an after.
What's the alternative? What should I do?
You expose them.
These men, they decide what the truth is. You don't get to do that. The family's gone because of what I know. They're gone.
Frank goes into the woods to find Gunner, but before he can knock on the door, Gunner shoots him with an arrow.
Gunner, it's Frank Castle. Come on, Gunner, it's Frank. Gunner, goddammit, it's Frank Castle. Come on, I'm not part of it, brother. I never have been.
I'm not your enemy, brother. That tape you made, they killed my family for it.
Gunner tells Frank about Colonel Skoonover loading drugs into a dead soldier's body, which made him want to expose the corruption. Suddenly, 8 soldiers appear, chasing Frank and Gunner. They start fighting back using booby traps and gunfire. Micro helps by sending a drone to guide Frank.
Let's go.
Okay, Frank, I'm assuming that you and your buddy are the two hiding behind the big tree, yeah?
Now they're gonna come up behind you from either side of the tree.
Downhill. Move, quickly.
You're gonna die, you hear me?
I'm coming for you.
It's just like old times.
Micro's family waits for Frank to show up for Sunday dinner, unaware that he is injured and struggling to survive in the woods. Frank and Gunner are both badly hurt, with Gunner asking Frank to promise to bury him. Frank tries to find help, but collapses from his own injuries. Micro finds Frank, badly injured but alive, and helps him back to the van.
Come on now, Frank. Everything's gonna be okay, all right?
Fresh out of the oven.
I'll help her eat this.
No, great. All right, good.
No. Wait. Just wait.
Micro goes to get Curtis and tells him that Frank is dying. Curtis rushes to help because he used to be a medic. He helps remove the arrow from Frank's shoulder while Micro looks uncomfortable. Afterward, Curtis scolds Micro for involving Frank in this fight, making Micro feel guilty for bringing Frank into the danger. Russo and Dinah have a moment together, and after it is over, Russo finds a file on Frank. He gets upset that Dinah is still investigating Frank, believing Frank is dead. Dinah does not confirm anything, but Russo notes that they never found Frank's body and wonders about it.
Why are you so intent on pissing on the memory of a dead man?
That's not what this is. I'm not lying. I'm just not telling you anything.
You know that they never found his body?
Gotta go to work.
Frank, I gotta get him.
You gotta lay down. You gotta lay down.
I gotta go back for him. I took care of it. What do you mean?
I took care of it.
In Curtis's vet group, O'Connor talks about how tough he is, bragging about his hard experiences and making fun of the others. Curtis shares a story about training with a goat that was repeatedly injured for practice, eventually dying from too much damage. The story serves as a metaphor, with Frank being compared to the goat. Micro is watching his family arguing over his son, Zach, who stole a skateboard, hit his sister, and is being a bully.
I know that you stole that skateboard.
Hey! Are you a bully now? Is that what this is?
This family's full of snitches and traitors. It's like what we do here.
Micro asks if they need to worry about Russo knowing Frank is alive, but Frank defends him as a friend. Lewis is handing out protest literature with O'Connor. They are supporting a man on trial for bringing a gun to class. When a cop approaches them, Lewis gets confrontational and argues he has rights.
What can we do for you, officer?
Go home. Take us.
We're not blocking the sidewalk or the entrance of a building.
This is a city courthouse. You want to hang out here?
I pay your salary. We all pay your salary. So protect and serve.
Did you just reach for my gun?
I didn't, and I have a witness.
Micro brings up Russo and asks if Frank thinks he should contact him. Frank goes on a rant. saying he had two families, his real one and his Marine family, and he loved being a Marine. Lewis shows up at the vet center after being bailed out of jail. He confronts Curtis, who reveals that O'Connor lied about serving in Vietnam. Curtis calls O'Connor a fraud. Lewis gets angry and leaves. Dinah and Russo meet at the docks, where Dinah tells Russo that Frank is alive. Russo is surprised, and Dinah hopes he can lead her to Frank because she thinks he has information about her Kandahar case. Russo says he will try to find out more and appreciates that Dinah trusted him. Russo then goes to the vet center to see Curtis.
Hey, social worker. You seen Frank?
What?
Our dead friend. You seen him recently? I can't tell you how I found out, but I found out and now I gotta find him. I could get him out of here, man. Free and clear. Now is my chance to make things right.
He said he wanted to help you. That he could help you.
Meanwhile, Lewis confronts O'Connor at his place, accusing him of lying about being in Vietnam.
Bet you want a beer.
I can tell you some stories. When we came back from...
When you came back from Texas, he never went to Vietnam.
If you don't like my story,
No, they're not just stories.
Goddamn
Back from the dead.
Hey, Bill. Hey. You never change, huh?
Lucky for you, I don't.
You remember that douchebag from Mortuary Services, Colonel Bennett? 3 of them were selling heroin out of Kandahar.
What, you just gonna take them all on yourself? How's that going for you so far?
You really think this is what Maria would have wanted for you? Let me get you out of the city, Frankie. I got you.
Frank shows up at Micro's house to apologize to his wife, Sarah, for missing dinner. Sarah talks about her tough family life, and Frank reassures her that things will get better. Meanwhile, Russo waits for Frank at the docks but gets frustrated and leaves. He gets in an SUV where Rollins is waiting, revealing that Russo is working with Rollins, and things are about to get intense. Lewis is cleaning blood off his hands after killing O'Connor. He then goes home, where his father asks about his shirt and does not notice the wound on Lewis' side. His dad tells him he loves him and offers some pills to help him sleep. Meanwhile, Frank is seen working out with a cinder block while Micro is cooking a dinner. They plan an operation to interrogate General Bennett, who knows the true identity of Agent Orange, as Gunner had told Frank before he died. Frank is determined to find Rollins.
Most important thing is that Bennett has to be where you say he is.
100%.
Sooner we find him, sooner I get to put the guy down.
I want to make sure you mean Agent Orange and not Colonel Bennett.
Maybe this time I wait in the van, right? Send you in, seeing as how you know the plan so well.
Russo visits Dinah's office, where she asks him for information on Frank, but he says he has nothing. However, we know he is secretly planning to double-cross Frank with Rollins. Russo tries to flirt with Dinah, but Sam enters, angry that she told Russo Frank is alive. Dinah has a realization that her office might be bugged and tells Sam. Rollins and Russo are at a fancy house, talking about how to deal with Frank. Rollins thinks Russo should have eliminated Frank when they met at the pier, but Russo reminds him of the time Frank attacked Rollins and gave him a serious eye injury. They argue and throw vague threats at each other. Bennett is having dinner with a woman and talking about how tough he is.
Or fall back in it.
Look at the mess you've made.
Copy that loud and clear.
Looks like I got here just in time.
He's here!
We're tied into his phone. 3 minutes.
Damn it, stop hitting it!
You got 4 hostiles headed your way. They're moving fast. Almost done, Frank. We're close. 2. Get out of there.
Hands up! Don't come any closer!
Easy, kid. Kid, I am not your enemy here. I'm gonna go that way. You do what you gotta do.
I said stop!
Easy!
No!
Easy! Drive.
Then we see Lewis is shopping for supplies and making a homemade pressure cooker bomb at home. Bennett talks to Rollins and Russo at the safe house, complaining about Frank. Rollins wants to know what Bennett told Frank and decides to help him start a new life with a new identity. Bennett agrees and leaves his phone with Russo. Meanwhile, Frank and Micro are on the move in the van. Micro talks about hoping to see his family again. Dinah and Sam discover a bug in her office and talk about their dating lives, with Sam saying Dinah sounds like Frank. She disagrees, saying she is about the law while Frank thinks he is above it. Meanwhile, Frank and Micro track Bennett's phone to a CIA safe house.
What the hell kind of place is this?
Relax.
You all better come up with the goods fast, or I'm gonna die from looking at this wallpaper.
Yeah.
It's done. 1 badge. 2 badge. Penny and dime.
Micro is analyzing an image of Rollins from Frank's scope and confirms it is him, realizing Orange is at the top of the CIA chain. Micro worries because Orange has all the resources, but Frank is not concerned, pointing out that there is no sign anyone's after them. Suddenly, the cameras at Micro's family house go down, and Micro panics, asking Frank to check on them.
CIA and the FBI, they're not coming after us. You're scared, David, and I get that, but think about how this Rollins prick feels. Let me get you something. Some chamomile, huh?
The cameras in my house are down.
What's that? Hey, David,
You need to check on my family right now!
All right. Hey.
Jesus.
I didn't mean to scare you. It's for you. What do I do with these?
Trash cans are over there.
She invites him for a drink, and they have a flirtatious conversation while Micro is away. Sarah has unplugged her internet and cameras to escape everything. She talks about what is missing in her life and says she wants to move on and be happy. She then kisses Frank, but he gently pushes her away and she apologizes. Frank takes some food and leaves. Back at Dinah's office, she tells Sam that she has a lead on Frank, claiming he is trying to buy ammunition. This is a lie, as she is actually trying to mislead whoever is listening to her bugged office. Russo and Rollins meet to discuss how they need to eliminate Frank. Rollins wants to get involved in Dinah's operation, and Russo says he will need help from others. Russo reassures Rollins that Dinah is just a tool to use, and that he is not worried about anyone standing in his way. Meanwhile, Micro thinks of giving evidence to Dinah to arrest Rollins, but Frank says Rollins must die.
I miss sex.
Yeah, it's good to know, buddy.
I'm hung like a moose.
You must be proud. Oh, for Christ's sake, get the hell out of here. What's the matter with you?
Kiss my wife, don't forget.
Stop, enough, all right?
Hey,
it's not what happened.
Be right back. Yeah, Madani.
What do you mean Madani was?
I have the video. Lock and key, we give that to Madani. She arrests Rollins.
Rollins dies, remember?
Your family's dead. Just keep on going. You're a psychopath. You have nothing but a war inside you. I'm calling her.
Put the goddamn phone down.
Russo meets with some struggling vets and offers them money for a dangerous mission to eliminate someone, promising to get them to a country where they cannot be arrested. Frank wakes up Micro and gives him food. Micro regrets his actions from the night before and asks Frank to forget everything except Dinah. Frank refuses. When Sarah calls, Frank talks about his commitment to Maria and says he does not want to be with anyone else. He listens to Sarah's message, where she says her son Zach is going to hurt someone. Frank visits Sarah's house, and she gives him a hunting knife she found in his backpack. He asks about her son Zach. Zach explains he wanted the knife because he was scared. Dinah's operation to catch Russo is underway as he and his team enter an abandoned warehouse. Russo quickly realizes it is a trap, and a fierce gunfight breaks out between Russo's team and Homeland Security.
Homeland Security, drop your weapons!
Drop your weapons and get down on the ground!
Who the hell are these guys?
Druid's down!
Drop it! I said drop it! Hands behind your head!
Attaboy. Why don't you go along, buddy? Get the hell out of here. Hey, listen to me. You want to get him killed? They'll kill him. David, they will kill him. Go. Go. Hey, what a catch. Attaboy.
Dinah is feeling very sad after Sam's death. Her mother takes care of her, while she keeps blaming herself. At the same time, Frank and Micro are secretly watching her from a rooftop, trying to figure out how to talk to her. But suddenly, a big explosion happens below them, filling the air with dust. At ATF office, workers are having a birthday party. Suddenly, a bomb explodes and some people die. News reports the blast. After that, we see Lewis, who is acting crazy and talking to himself. He writes a letter saying the US government is the enemy and wants to take away guns and freedom. Lewis sends his crazy letter to Karen. She reads it and wants to publish it, but her editor says they should call the FBI instead. Frank watches the bombing video and gets angry, saying he hates bombs and wants payback. Frank reads Karen's article where she calls Lewis a terrorist and a coward. Frank gets worried that Karen might be in danger now because she is openly speaking against him.
Do you have any sympathy with this point of view?
No, none.
The irony of this bomber's point of view is terrifying. Less guns, less death, that simple.
This guy was using bombs, not guns.
It's barely a year since this city was terrorized by the Punisher.
No, that's hardly the same thing. Frank Castle killed murderers and drug dealers.
37?
That they know about.
Got a caller. Says it's him. The bomber.
Why did you say those things about me, Karen? And taking our guns so we can't do anything about it?
But awful things happen to people every day and they don't murder people because of it.
The war is just beginning and you are all on the wrong side of it. Sic semper tyrannis.
Curtis group, that kid, he said that. He said sic semper tyrannis. Lewis, and he drives a kid. Could you find him on there?
Listen, Frank, are you sure that this is the same guy?
I'm goddamn sure. Just...
What's the deal with you two?
The deal is that nobody goes after her, okay? Not on my watch.
So you want to go after this guy?
Goddamn right. Something happens to her,
Okay.
Curtis calls Lewis after hearing him on the radio. He is worried and wants to find him. Curtis goes to O'Connor's place. When he gets there, he smells something bad through the mail slot and kicks the door open. He finds O'Connor's dead body wrapped in a shower curtain, and nearby, there are bomb-making materials. Lewis shows up, they fight, and Curtis almost wins.
Shouldn't be here, Curtis. I needed to come check on you. It's not too late to do the right thing.
I am doing the right thing.
I can't leave here without you, buddy.
Can't leave here.
Micro finds Lewis's location and tells Frank. Frank grabs a gun and heads out, even though Micro urges him to call the FBI instead. Frank calls Karen to warn her about Lewis. Meanwhile, Senator Ori is at a hotel raising money for victims of Lewis's bombing. He meets Russo, who has been recommended for security. Ori talks about the bomber and says he is against guns, but Russo is not interested in Ori's politics. Frank arrives at O'Connor's house, breaks down the door, and finds Curtis tied up. He tries to free Curtis, but does not know how to disarm the bomb. Curtis's phone rings, and it is Lewis, who is watching from a distance with his gun. Lewis tells Frank that they are doing the same thing by taking justice into their own hands, but Frank disagrees, saying he is not like Lewis. He fought his enemies face to face, while Lewis does not. Frank and Curtis try to figure out how to disarm the bomb. Lewis calls Frank again, saying he has called the cops, but insists they should work together. Frank tries to make a deal to save Curtis.
Hear that? They're coming.
Not as long as Hashlight, Karen Page think they can write or say whatever it is they want.
No, I'm gonna walk in there and I'm gonna cut one of those wires. Now, what are you gonna do? You gonna kill me, kid? You wanna kill me? You wanna kill Curtis?
Try the white wire.
Come on, shoot me.
Down! Right now!
Dinah is at a bar before heading to Sam's funeral. A scruffy man with a gun sits down and introduces himself as Micro. Dinah realizes he is the one who sent her the video. Micro wants to work with her and offers her the names of everyone involved in Kandahar, including Rollins. This makes Dinah's day. Things get even crazier when the news reports that Frank is alive. Frank watches the news and realizes the game is up. Shortly after, Lewis breaks into a man's apartment, eliminates him, and takes his clothes. Russo is in a hotel room, talking to Brett Mahoney about Lewis. Brett criticizes Russo's security, but he points out that Senator Ori is alive, though 4 of his men were eliminated protecting him. The scene shifts to 6 hours earlier, where Russo is talking to Senator Ori about security for his fundraising event. Russo gets a call from Frank. He warns Russo that Lewis is targeting Ori and will not let him speak. He tells Russo to get Ori out secretly and that he will handle Lewis. Karen is getting off the elevator, where Russo introduces himself. Then, we flash back to what happened earlier in the hotel room.
They're about taking all guns away from certain people, Karen.
I'm gonna help!
That's what he said? Or he told you that he went for help?
Karen is being interrogated. She defends Frank, saying he was not a terrorist and was there to protect her and stop Lewis. She argues that Frank would not shoot a senator over a political opinion. Meanwhile, Lewis, disguised as an anvil guard, sneaks past Dinah in the lobby and Russo on the stairs. He eliminates another guard, heads to Ori's floor, and gets ready to attack. Ori and Karen are debating, while Lewis prepares his bomb and gas mask to go after Ori.
Please don't shoot him! Please don't shoot him!
I got a bomb! I got a bomb!
Just let her go.
Stay back. You armed, Dad? Drop your weapons!
Put your guns down!
The first day back and you're on the scene of a terrorist attack? You're telling me there's no threat there?
I think you're having trouble with a narrative, Sergeant.
Why don't we start with exactly what you were doing?
We then flash back to Dinah arriving at her office, where Raffi returns her badge, and Dinah admits she knew Frank was alive. She tells Raffi about her plan to draw out the bad guys, including Rollins being the one in charge. Dinah is in the hotel lobby when she runs into Russo. She wants to talk to him about the men who eliminated her team, who she believes worked for Russo. He denies it, claiming they have not worked for him in a long time. As alarms go off, Russo rushes off, but Dinah is determined and heads up the staircase where she meets Frank. She tells him to drop his weapon, but he refuses.
Castle, drop the weapon!
It's not gonna happen.
Drop the weapon! Castle, stay back.
Nobody else here has to die.
Shut up!
Okay.
Wilson! I'm unarmed. Hey! I'm unarmed.
Stay back. Maybe you and me, we are the same.
We were with Curtis. You told me to pull that white wire. You did the right thing, kid.
You and me, we are the same.
Right? We like to do the same thing over and over and over again. Do it now, Karen! Do it now!
And then when they come out, they cut up.
Frank, we gotta go. We gotta go now.
Karen, get out of here.
Go like a soldier.
God damn it!
On the news, Billy calls Frank a monster, trying to make himself look good. Dinah watches the same news in her office. She is very angry because she knows Russo eliminated her partner and is now lying to the public. She throws her coffee mug at the TV in frustration. Frank comes back to the hideout. He looks very angry. He goes to the bathroom to fix his injuries. Micro comes in to help him, but Frank feels betrayed because Micro went to Dinah. He tells Micro that things have now changed. Micro's family is watching the news and finds out that their friend Pete is really a Frank Castle. They are shocked and confused. Russo meets with Dinah. She shows him crime scene photos and says he is a murderer.
I'm going to share several crime scene photos with you.
Why am I here, Dinah?
Because you're a murderer.
The only reason I was there that day was you.
Did you and Frank Castle conduct illegal covert operations in Kandahar?
Now, if this was official, you wouldn't be sitting there alone.
He's going to kill you. And he's going to enjoy
Doing it.
Frank is back at the hideout and finally spray painting the white skull on his vest. At Homeland Security, Dinah and Rafi watch Russo's interview. Rafi tells Dinah to find Frank and Micro to move things forward, then goes to handle things his own way. At Micro's house, a man pretending to be a cop knocks on the door.
Hey, we received a call from this address to the castle tip line. Did you call? Got something you want to tell me, son? How do you know Frank Castle? Where's your daughter? Well, look, thing is, I think it's best you come with me. For your own protection.
Zach, run!
Hey!
Get away from my family or I swear to God I'll use this.
Drop it! I'm out of here. David, stop. Hey, stop! Where's Leo? They didn't take her.
Gotta go. Could she have a phone?
Micro's daughter, Leo, is walking alone in the park when her phone rings. Frank tells her to throw away the phone and SIM card after the call. He gives her a safe place to go and says he will meet her there. After the call, Frank tells Micro that he has to go get his daughter. Frank also tells him that if he does not return by midnight, Micro should go to Dinah. Micro asks what Frank is going to do. Frank says he will wait for the bad guys, make them talk, find out where Sarah is, and then eliminate them all. Sarah and Zach are tied up in a warehouse, scared and shouting. Rollins and Russo are watching them. Rollins tells Russo to go eliminate Frank and Micro at their hideout, which they found by tracking Sarah's phone. Russo does not want to go alone and dares Rollins to come with him. Rollins refuses. The two do not trust each other, and it seems like one of them might betray the other soon. Frank is finally getting ready for war. He loads his guns, sharpens his knives, sets traps, and puts on the skull vest. Inside the warehouse, bad guys are walking around, trying to find Frank.
Yeah, we're in the power station. There's no one here.
If they weren't there, how'd you find the place?
The phone we tracked.
It's a trap.
Russo! I'm gonna watch you die! Where'd they take him?
I don't know anything.
Fair enough. Someday, sometime, this is gonna come down to you and me.
I'll catch up to you eventually.
Frank says that everything is on the computers, and if Micro's family gets hurt, all the files will go public. Russo offers to trade Sarah and Zach for Frank and Micro. Frank agrees. Micro meets his daughter Leo. They sit in the van, talking. Suddenly, Dinah knocks on the window. Micro asks why she is there. Frank steps out of the shadows and says he called her. He talks to Leo, says she is brave, and tells her his real name is Frank Castle.
He's a lot scarier than Pete.
Yes, sweetheart. I guess he is.
Russo arrives at the hideout. He sees the damage and watches the video of the Kandahar execution on the computer and becomes very shocked and confused. The next day, Frank is being questioned by Dinah. She wants to know about the events in Kandahar. He names all the people involved, like Orange and Russo, which makes things worse for them. Micro, who just reunited with his daughter, faces tough questions from her about why he disappeared and how his family dealt with his fake death. Micro promises to make things right. He then talks to Dinah on camera and tells her he won't answer her questions unless he is sure his wife and daughter will be safe. Dinah asks Frank about Zubair. Frank explains they were a squad and admits that he was the one who eliminated Zubair, not Russo. Dinah is shocked, and Frank says it ruined them all. Frank and Micro are waiting at the docks for the exchange to get Micro's family back. Frank promises to protect Micro's wife and son. A red van arrives, and Sarah and Zach are brought out.
Dad! Dad!
So it's real simple. You and leave him and get in the van, start walking.
Sounds good. Easy. You keep it together, David. Keep walking. Get in the van!
Nice place you got here.
Russo tries to get information from Frank, but Frank refuses to cooperate. Russo tells him he has no choice but to die, and that Micro is dead, eliminated by Homeland. Frank confronts Russo about his involvement in the deaths of his family. Russo admits he knew about it, but denies being the one who pulled the trigger. Frank, full of anger and pain, threatens to eliminate Russo. Meanwhile, Micro is revealed to be alive and emerges from a body bag. He reunites with his family, who are overjoyed, but still shocked by his fake death. Back at the hideout, Russo demands the passwords from Frank, but Frank refuses. Rollins then enters, threatening to make things worse. He begins to beat Frank, but Frank takes it without reacting, retreating into thoughts of his wife, Maria, to endure the pain.
Yeah, I was wondering when you were gonna show up. How about Morty Bennett? You think Morty Bennett trusted him?
Billy and I have mutual interests, Frank.
Micro breaks protocol and hacks into Dinah's computer to show her a live feed of Frank being tortured. He begs Dinah to save him.
Give it up and I'll make it clean and fast. Go out like a soldier.
It's gonna be you.
I promise.
It's a retinal scan up there, keystroke. My eye, my right hand. That's it.
Where's home, Frank? Is it here or is it there? I want to hear you say it.
It's with you always. You know that. Yeah, I'll stay with you.
This guy was good. We were never getting in here without the codes. The backup systems and security are gnarly.
You're good. You are nothing but a blunt. Fear, Frank.
Ribs must be crap.
All right. You don't leave me, Frank.
This doesn't serve me.
Billy, don't get confused. Men like me make the plans. Men like you shed the blood. Because when it's all said and done, you're just a stupid grunt, too.
It's time. You have to choose.
Adrenaline. Oh, always gonna come down to you and me, Frank. Time for quid pro quo.
Come home, Frank. Let's go home.
I am home. You're wrong. Die!
God damn, Frankie. I love to watch you work.
Frank, in pain, tells Russo that he has lost everything. Just then, Homeland agents storm in. Micro tells Frank to stay with him, his eyes wide open, and in his dream, he realizes Maria is no longer there. Frank is taken away, and his wounds are treated immediately. Russo, on the other hand, grabs money from a wall safe, and in that moment, Homeland agents arrive, but Russo takes them out one by one and escapes, blowing up the building as he leaves. Frank wakes up, still badly injured, and asks about Russo. Later, he is getting ready to leave, and Micro gives him money, telling him to get away and start fresh. But Frank refuses, saying he has to finish what he started. He thanks Dinah for saving him, and she warns him that if they meet again, she will either arrest him or eliminate him. Dinah later faces questioning at Homeland by Rafi and Marion. They want to know where Frank and Micro are. She tells them to arrest her or let her do her job. Curtis wakes up to find Russo in his house, armed and wanting to talk. Russo asks how long Curtis knew Frank was alive. Curtis explains he kept Frank's secret because Frank asked him to. They talk about how both Frank and Russo have made bad choices, but Curtis says Frank would never betray a brother. Suddenly, sniper fire comes through the window.
I'm taking this kind of personally.
Yeah, put him on.
Shit, we know each other so well, we saw each other coming.
Let him go, Bill. I'll let you walk out that door, I give you my word.
As soon as I hear that magazine and cartridge eject from your rifle. Let's meet tonight. How about buy your painted ponies, Frankie?
Frank has a flashback to when Russo was not just a teammate, but a close friend. We see Russo happily spending time with Frank's family, playing with the kids and joking around. In Central Park, Russo threatens some kids at a carnival stand and asks for their help. Dinah is writing her report on Frank but gets a text with a location, Central Park, where Frank's family was eliminated. She quickly leaves to head there, knowing the showdown between Frank and Russo is about to happen. Frank is moving through the trees, ready for a fight and wearing his iconic skull symbol. He approaches the painted ponies in Central Park, where he remembers his family from a happy time. However, the peaceful moment turns dark when he sees two teenagers tied up and bleeding. Russo calls Frank, telling him these kids will die because of him. Frank uses a grenade launcher to distract Russo and charges into fight.
Guys like us, Frank, we need this! We're the same.
Oh, it's enough, Frank! You come out! Let him go.
I never had anybody.
Please leave.
You're gonna learn about loss. You're gonna remember me. God damn it, Madani.
At the hospital, Frank is in cuffs. Marion and Rafi tell him that he is free now. His records have been wiped and he can start a new life. When Frank asks about Russo, Rafi says he survived surgery, but may have brain damage. Dinah hopes Russo remembers everything, so she can face him again. We then see Russo in a hospital bed, his face wrapped in bandages. After that, Frank drops Micro at home. He is nervous to return to his family, but finally goes in. Sometime later, Frank is at the Veterans Support Group with Curtis. He joins the talk and admits something deep. For the first time in his life, he has no war to fight, and that scares him.
Really look in the mirror, you gotta admit who you are. First time as long as I can remember, I don't have a war to fight. I'm scared.
Sometime later, we see Frank relaxing in the bar and enjoying a live band performance. He notices a guy disturbing a bar girl named Beth Quinn. He invites Beth for a drink, but she refuses. Frank steps in to defend her, and they kick Johnny out of the bar.
You like that?
Impressed by Frank's actions, Beth invites him to her place, and Frank accepts. The scene shifts to Chicago, introducing John Pilgrim, a mysterious and menacing man. He has an injured man named Sergei Konchevsky tied to a chair, interrogating him about his connections to the Russian Mafia. During the interrogation, Sergei's phone rings. It's Amy Bendix, who informs Sergei about the brutal murder of their group. John listens in on the conversation as Amy tells Sergei her current location and asks for photos in exchange for money. After the call, John kills Sergei and orders his men to find Amy.
Promise to give you peace. I don't even know what
Back at Beth's place, she opens up to Frank about her past, her background, and her son. Frank spends the night with Beth and reveals his true identity to her. The next morning, she drops Frank off at his motel, asking him to stay longer because she enjoys his company. That night, Frank returns to the bar to meet her. Suddenly, John Pilgrim's goons enter the bar. Sensing danger, Amy heads to the washroom and tries to escape through a window, but is captured and beaten by the goons. Frank, who is trying to enjoy a quiet night at the bar, notices something is wrong. As he heads towards the back of the bar, one of the men tries to stop him. Amy, terrified, asks Frank for help. The fight spills into the main bar area. More attackers enter, and a big fight breaks out. Frank fights them off using his combat skills, throwing punches and kicks, and using objects like bar stools and bottles to defend himself and Amy.
What's the problem, man?
With the attackers taken care of, Frank quickly tends to Beth's wound and decides to get her to the hospital. He helps Beth into his car, and Amy gets in as well. On their way to the hospital, they are ambushed by more of John Pilgrim's goons.
Now what?
Finally, he reaches the hospital. He carries Beth inside, urgently calling for medical help. The hospital staff takes Beth in for treatment, and Frank ensures Amy is safe. John Pilgrim arrives at the bar lounge with a corrupt police officer, Ferreira. They find Frank's wedding ring, and Ferreira helps cover up the situation. Reviewing the camera footage, John is impressed by Frank's fighting skills. He orders his men to find Frank and Amy at any cost. In New York, Billy Russo is in a hospital bed. His face is covered with a mask, and he is in a coma. Dinah Madani, a former Homeland Security agent, visits him regularly. She sits by his bed, waiting eagerly for him to wake up. She hopes to get answers and confront him about his past actions. As soon as Dinah leaves the hospital room, Billy begins to stir and comes out of his coma, but it is clear he is disoriented. Meanwhile, in the small town of Larksville, Frank reaches Amy's hideout. He asks her to help remove a bullet lodged in his back. In the small, dimly lit bathroom, Amy nervously helps Frank. She uses a pair of tweezers to carefully extract the bullet from his back. Frank grimaces in pain but stays strong, guiding her through the process. After the bullet is removed, Frank is visibly exhausted. He wants to rest and regain his strength. However, he is worried that Amy might try to run away while he sleeps. To prevent this, he decides to take a drastic measure. He leads Amy back to the main room of the motel and ties her to the bed to make sure she doesn't escape.
You're gonna try and get some sleep? Yeah, okay, well, I'm gonna wake you up. Get me up, okay? Oh, no, no,
Dinah returns to the hospital to check on Billy Russo. She walks down the hallway with a determined look on her face and enters Billy's room. To her surprise, she finds Billy awake and sitting up in bed. The doctor, noticing Dinah's distress, steps into the room. Dinah turns to him angrily, saying that he is faking all of this because he doesn't want to face the charges. The doctor remains calm and explains that Billy has suffered severe head injuries. The trauma has caused significant memory loss, and this isn't something he can fake, and his brain needs time to heal. Despite the doctor's explanation, Dinah is still unconvinced, explaining to the doctor that she doesn't know him like Dinah because he's manipulative and this all could be an act. But the doctor stands firm, repeating that Billy's condition is genuine and that he needs proper care and time to recover. Dinah leaves the room, her mind racing with doubt and anger. As she walks away, Billy remains in bed, looking lost and broken, leaving viewers to wonder about his true state of mind. Beth lies in a hospital bed, recovering from her gunshot wound. She looks weak and vulnerable, surrounded by medical equipment, and suddenly, John Pilgrim enters the hospital room. He is a tall, imposing figure with a stern expression. Beth's eyes widen in fear as she recognizes him. John notices the get-well cards from Beth's son. His eyes narrow as he picks one up, his gaze cold and threatening.
Now I need the name of the man at the bar. Who was the man who brought you here? He risked his life to save yours. The God spared you because of that. So that you could be a good mother to Rex.
Leave my baby out of this.
This is the wages of sin. He brought this on you, but that all can end here. I can see it in you, Beth. A vow before God is not to be taken lightly.
With his mission accomplished, John turns and leaves the hospital room. Beth watches him leave, her heart heavy with fear for her son. She knows that revealing Frank's identity may have put him in even greater danger, but she has no choice. Frank interrogates Amy, who claims she's just a student and doesn't know why the goons are after her. He doesn't buy her story and presses her for the truth, but Amy holds her ground. Realizing they aren't safe, he books the adjacent motel room and creates a hidden passage between the two rooms. Billy undergoes therapy, and the doctor discovers his nightmares are haunted by a skull. The therapist listens intently, taking notes as Billy shares his experiences. She realizes that the skull in his nightmares is a powerful symbol, representing his inner turmoil and the darkness that haunts him. These nightmares hint at his deep psychological trauma. As the therapy session comes to an end, Billy is left with a sense of unease. The nightmares continue to haunt him, reminding him of the pain and suffering he has endured. Dinah sits at a table in a bustling restaurant, waiting for Rafael Hernandez. She looks tense, knowing their conversation won't be easy. Rafael arrives, his expression stern and his tone sharp. He is visibly angry about something as he sits down across from Dinah. Without wasting any time, Rafael confronts her about her frequent visits to Billy Russo in the hospital. He demands to know why she's been spending so much time with him, and he warns her to stay away from Billy. As a senior official within Homeland Security, Rafael is concerned about maintaining the integrity of the department's investigations. Angered by Rafael's attitude, Dinah stands up abruptly, her frustration evident. She refuses to back down, but she knows there's no reasoning with Rafael. Frank, ever vigilant, notices a suspicious car parked outside the motel where he and Amy are staying. His instincts tell him trouble is approaching. As Frank watches, he sees the shadows of Amy and himself cast on the motel wall. The goons spot the shadows, realizing they've found their targets.
You ready to talk?
Behind your head!
Hands behind your head!
Hands behind your head!
The authorities arrive, catching them all in the middle of the chaos. At the police station, Amy cleverly claims that Frank kidnapped her, trying to shift the blame and protect herself. However, the officers are skeptical of her story, sensing that there's more to the situation than meets the eye. Meanwhile, a hacker informs John of the arrests, alerting him to the fact that Frank and Amy are in police custody. John's interest is aroused, and he starts to mobilize his forces. Realizing they're in serious trouble, Frank calls Dinah, hoping for her assistance, but Dinah, still cautious of Frank's motives, refuses to get involved, leaving Frank and Amy to fend for themselves.
I need your help.
Frank, you're no longer part of my life. Do not call this number again.
As the police officer Roy Harden interrogates Frank, he remains calm but assertive. He tries to convince them that releasing them would be in everyone's best interest, emphasizing the danger posed by their stalkers outside the police station. And in that moment, John arrives with a determined look, ready to complete his mission and take out his targets. As he sits there, his mind drifts back to earlier days. He remembers the challenging times when his wife was very sick. The medical bills were overwhelming, and he struggled to find a way to pay for her treatment. It was during this desperate period that Anderson Schultz and his wife, Eliza Schultz, came into their lives. They offered to cover all the medical expenses, providing the financial support that John and his wife desperately needed. In return for their generosity, Anderson asked John to do something very significant. This favor was not a simple task, but something that would require John to use his particular set of skills and take on dangerous responsibilities. The police officer Roy is suspicious of Amy's story. He has found fake IDs and connections to various groups, making him doubt her claims. Amy insists she is a victim and doesn't know why the goons are after her. Roy confronts Amy in the interrogation room. He shows her the fake IDs and connections he's found. Amy sticks to her story, saying she has no idea what's happening and that she is just a victim. Unsatisfied, Roy goes to Olin's cell. He tells Olin he knows about her plans and demands answers. Olin warns Roy to let her go or face serious consequences. She says her leaders will strike back if she isn't released. Frank supports Olin's warning. He tells Roy that Olin's group is very dangerous and will kill everyone in the station if they don't release her. Roy feels the pressure. He wants to do his job and catch the criminals, but he also wants to keep everyone safe. He orders more security around the station and thinks about what to do next. In a New York hospital, Dr. Dumont is conducting a therapy session with Billy. He is very upset because his nightmares are disturbing him. As they discuss his sleep issues, Billy suddenly becomes angry and shouts at the doctor. Hearing the commotion guards rush in,
None of this makes any sense. Why won't you help me? Hey!
Billy insists that the doctor help him escape the hospital. She agrees, but warns Billy about his health condition. Ignoring the warning, he hands his mask to her and escapes. John and Ferreira pull up at the police station. Ferreira demands that Roy hands over Olin, Frank, and Amy, but Roy stands firm and refuses. John steps in, warning Roy to brace himself for what's coming. He makes it clear that there will be consequences if Roy doesn't comply with their demands.
Did you take an oath, Sheriff? Did you take an oath when you came into office?
Before God. I'm not about to break it.
Hosea 8, verse 7. He that sows the wind shall reap the whirlwind.
After their departure, John orders his men to cut the power supply to the police station, plunging it into darkness. The sudden loss of power adds to the tension as Roy and his officers prepare for a forthcoming attack. Dinah visits the hospital to see Billy. She meets Dumont, who accuses her of helping Billy escape by faking his mental condition. Dumont insists that Billy is genuinely mentally unstable. Dinah remains unconvinced and suspects Dumont of aiding Billy's escape. While Dinah is questioning her, Detective Brett Mahoney arrives and tells her that the Homeland Security Department agreed to hand over Billy Russo's case to the police. He advises Dinah to stay away from the matter, saying she is not allowed to be involved. After leaving the room, Dinah decides to approach Frank to help solve the Billy Russo case. Roy Harden is very tense about the situation at the police station. He asks Frank to explain everything clearly. Frank tells him the whole story and convinces Roy to let him go, warning that John Pilgrim will not spare anyone. Deputy Police Officer Ken Ogden suggests he go out and reach the state police to inform them about the situation since their power supply is cut off and they can't contact anyone. Roy agrees and allows Ken to leave. However, as soon as Ken tries to exit, John shoots him in the chest. Roy Harden quickly brings Ken back into the police station. Roy finds himself in a tense confrontation with John. Once more, he demands that Roy hands over the 3 prisoners. Despite the pressure, Roy stands his ground, refusing to comply with John's demands. After the confrontation, Roy returns to the police station, his mind racing with the implications of his encounter with John. He immediately takes charge, instructing his team to provide medical treatment to Ken, who was injured during the earlier dispute. Realizing the danger, Roy quickly gets his team ready for a possible attack. He gathers his officers and makes sure they're all prepared to protect the station from whatever John might do. The mood is tense as everyone gets ready for what might happen next.
God damn it, it's a diversion! You need to cover the back door!
Come on!
What are you doing? Take cover!
As tension reaches its peak, John, angered by Olin's interference, makes a drastic decision to eliminate her. With a cold determination, he swiftly ends her life, removing the obstacle to his mission. With a serious determination, John tells his men to set the station on fire to destroy all evidence and stop anyone from stopping them. But right when the fire starts, Frank joins the fight. Frank faces the goons with strong determination. He fights them with careful and exact moves, taking them down one by one with skill and speed, changing the course of the fight to his advantage.
Turns out he's like the devil or death or something.
Long as he's on our side.
Dinah arrives and tells Frank that Billy has escaped from custody. She urgently needs Frank's help to find him. At this moment, Roy comes in and gives some luggage to Frank, indicating there's an important task at hand. Frank listens to Dinah's plea and then makes a condition for his assistants that he will help track down Billy only if Dinah allows Amy to stay with him for protection. Dinah, understanding the seriousness of the situation, and agrees to Frank's demand. With the agreement in place, they prepare for their mission as they all board a plane and fly to New York, setting the stage for the hunt for Billy. Billy. Meanwhile, Billy, scarred and on the run, takes a bus to New York. During the bus ride, a thug mocks Billy because of the scars on his face. He doesn't react at the moment and stays silent.
Jesus Christ, what are you, deaf too?
Billy!
Man, you're one sad bastard.
We can do that, you and I.
What do you want, freak?
Billy kills the thug and takes his clothes, continuing his escape in disguise. Dinah, Amy, and Frank are seen in New York in her apartment. She hides this from Raphael, and he meets Dinah because he is very worried about Amy and Frank. Raphael also doubts Dinah's mental well-being, as she is deeply involved in many cases. However, she assures him that she is perfectly fine. Amy asks Frank what they are doing in New York and what their purpose is, but Frank ignores her. He is watching the news about Billy's disappearance on TV. Amy is very upset by the current situation. She is mentally unstable and wants to take a nap. She moves into the room and tries to sleep, but her past events won't let her. She starts weeping, and in her dream, she sees her friends who were brutally killed while she is the only one who survived from her group. Billy reaches a local bar and buys a drink. He remembers his time with Dumont and sees a TV where he finds news about his escape. Dinah comes back to the apartment where she meets Frank and discusses about Billy. He realizes that Dinah is officially banned from the Billy Russo case, which is why she needs his assistance.
Russo dragged himself back from hell. I mean, imagine the strength that requires. He acted like a basket case. He bided his time and lulled them into thinking he was harmless.
Good. You know, Madani, you had the shot. You didn't take it. What do you want from me?
You think I don't know that? Maybe that's why you couldn't kill him either.
No, killing him would have been too easy. Yeah, I would have thought you knew better by now, Madani. This never ends.
Frank locks Amy in the bedroom so that she might not escape. Frank meets Curtis, and he explains to Frank that Dinah thinks Billy is faking his injuries and memory loss, but it's not true. He is in serious mental trauma and is unable to remember major past events. Despite this, he is still very dangerous. Frank asks Curtis if Billy can't remember anything, where he might go in such a big city like New York. Then Frank remembers a past conversation with Billy, where he told him about his old friend Arthur at the Ray of Hope group home. Amy wakes up, but panics as the door is locked and Frank opens it for her.
Hey! Let me out!
Hey, you all right?
I hate you! Did you ever let me inside, ever?
She tells him that in Chicago, she and her friends were working on a task and project, but all her friends were killed by a mysterious man. She is the only one who survived. She is very worried and wants to run away. Frank gives her hope, telling her not to be afraid, but to face the situation. Dinah returns home, and Frank tells her about Billy's old friend Arthur at Ray of Hope. Frank is sure Billy might go there. Dinah is about to leave to search for Billy when Detective Brett Mahoney comes to visit. He suspects that, although Dinah is not officially involved in the Russo case, she is doing something secretly. Dinah denies this and asks him to leave. Meanwhile, Frank and Amy hide in the room. Billy reaches Arthur and offers him coffee. During their conversation, Arthur recalls some past conflicts with Billy, and he gets offended.
I was good to you kids. And what'd I get? They took my pension. I worked all my life. I volunteered to help you kids. And for what? I loved you kids. And some of you were happy to love me back. You can't escape your nature, kid. I was a Marine. Yeah? Is that why you're here?
Dinah arrives at Arthur's place and finds his dead body. She hears footsteps and quickly turns around to shoot.
What the hell, Mahoney? Why don't you identify yourself?
It turns out to be Detective Brett, who is saved by his bulletproof vest. He asks her what's happening and why she is interfering with his investigation. Dinah ignores him and leaves. Amy leaves Dinah's apartment and searches on a computer, discovering Frank's true identity, that he is the Punisher. Amy returns to the apartment and tells Frank she knows everything about him. She feels sorry for his family's loss. Billy reaches Dumont's apartment and asks for help. She is initially amazed to see Billy there and agrees to help him by allowing him to stay with her. After learning the truth about Frank, Amy develops a genuine respect for him. They start playing card games together, and during one of these sessions, Amy confides in Frank about her past. She reveals that she received her last project from the Russian Mafia, specifically a man named Sergei Konchevsky, who operates in New York. Frank decides to track down Sergei to gather more information. He meets with Turk and asks him about Sergei. Initially, Turk refuses to help, but Frank's stern demeanor and threat prompt Turk to agree. He informs Frank that Sergei is indeed a member of the Russian Mafia. He then asks Turk to arrange a meeting with the Russian Mafia, leveraging Turk's knowledge and connections to delve deeper into the criminal underworld. Billy is sleeping at Dumont's place, still tormented by nightmares. She arrives and comforts him. He asks her why she lets him stay in her apartment if she knows about his troubled past. Dumont responds that she wants to help him. She believes she can assist him in overcoming his demons. Dinah returns to her apartment and informs Frank that Billy has murdered Arthur. Frank and Dinah are discussing the case of Russo. Then Amy says that Dinah is an agent who might help them in dealing with the Russian Mafia. Frank says that Dinah is not mentally stable, as she is fully involved in the Russo case, and they have to deal with Russian Mafia alone. Dinah gets the idea that Frank is more interested in the Mafia than in solving the case of Russo, so she becomes angry and asks them to leave. After his defeat by Frank, John is punishing himself when suddenly David and Eliza Schultz arrive to meet him. He informs John that the information possessed by Frank and Amy could seriously damage their political career and campaign. He urges John to return to New York to eliminate Frank and the girl. Despite John's reluctance to leave due to his wife's serious illness, he is compelled to go. Meanwhile, Dumont brings new clothes to Russo and inquires about his future goals and objectives. Russo asserts that he refuses to return to the hospital, indicating his determination to avoid further confinement. Turk arrives at the Russian Mafia headquarters and meets with their spokesperson Kazan. However, he learns that Sergei has been killed, raising suspicions about Turk's involvement in the murder. The spokesperson orders his men to capture Turk. Meanwhile, Frank observes everything from the outside. Frank leaves and returns to Dinah's apartment, where he receives a call from Turk inviting him to meet at his shop. Frank realizes it's a trap set by the Russian Mafia. He begins devising a plan to handle the dangerous situation ahead. With his instincts sharpened, Frank prepares for the impending confrontation with the Mafia. Dinah meets with Curtis Hoyle, who is leading therapy sessions for veterans. Dinah inquires about Curtis's connection with Billy and Castle. He explains that his priority is supporting the veterans group, but suggests Dinah to join a session and potentially find answers. Madani agrees. During the session, Jake becomes agitated by Dinah's presence, questioning why a civilian is involved.
You serve? You want some sort of research trip, honey?
Jake, I asked to be here. How about a little respect?
Hold on, I can speak for myself. You ever got sent to a desert country to fight a war you can't win and no one can tell you why? Or how a corpse feels in your arms, tell you that fighting for something you believe in will ruin your life because...
Sorry, man. I sincerely am. I didn't realize.
Afterward, Dinah and Curtis discuss how to handle the situation with Russo. They strategize on the best approach to deal with the ongoing challenges posed by his actions. Russian Mafia goons wait for Frank at Turk's shop, armed with guns. But Frank, being smart, goes straight to the gym to find Kazan. Kazan thinks Frank might have killed Sergei, so he tells his men to attack Frank.
What does the Punisher have to do with my business in Chicago? Huh? Did you kill Konchevsky?
Someone did. It's time to start talking.
I'm not the one who's gonna be talking.
You want to talk now?
I'm not your enemy.
Those photos.
Nikolai Polozny.
Where do I find them?
Try the internet. Murdock.
After getting the information he needs, Frank leaves the fight behind, continuing his quest for justice. Jake is drinking at the bar when Billy arrives. They reminisce about their past military experiences. Nelson expresses his worry, feeling that the country has abandoned them after they retired from the military, leaving them feeling useless and disheartened. Billy is surprised to learn that Jake recognizes him. Dumont is in her apartment, reviewing notes about Russo's mental state. As she goes over the details, she sips on a glass of wine, trying to relax. The atmosphere is tense as she delves deeper into Billy's troubled psyche. Feeling the need for some fresh air, Dumont moves toward the window. However, as she gazes out, she suddenly realizes she's afraid of heights. A rush of fear washes over her, and she instinctively steps back from the window, trying to steady herself. Amy is on a mission to find Nikolai, and her search leads her to discover some valuable information about his whereabouts. Realizing that Nikolai is now Frank's next target, Amy knows they need to act quickly. Meanwhile, Dinah asks Frank and Amy to leave her apartment. Understanding the urgency of the situation, they decide to head to Curtis Hoyle's place for refuge. John has arrived in New York and begins working on his mission. He heads to the headquarters of the Russian Mafia and kills Kazan. After the killing, he sets out to find Amy and Frank. Meanwhile, they go to a photo shop to develop some photos she has. The owner refuses to help, but Frank intervenes, threatening him until he agrees. With Amy's help, they develop the photographs successfully.
Whatever you want to do, and I mean whatever.
Get to work. Go. You like taking pictures of little girls, huh? You can wait outside.
You could always burn the place down if it makes you feel better.
Frank burns his shop, and they leave the place. Curtis organizes a celebratory feast for his group of fellow veterans. The atmosphere is joyful as they gather together, sharing stories and camaraderie. During the party, Curtis presents a pair of glasses to one of the attendees, Jimbo. Along with the gift, Curtis offers heartfelt advice, encouraging the individual to find happiness and move forward from their past experiences. He suggests considering employment opportunities as a way to transition into a new chapter of life. Frank is looking at the photographs they developed from the shop and decides to meet Nikolai. Amy asks Frank for a gun to defend herself, as there's a lot of danger outside. Frank refuses to give her a gun, but instead teaches her certain moves to disarm opponents for self-defense.
Really cute.
Yeah, that was cute. What are you doing? You're gonna take the gun offline, right? Go for the joint. Joints are weakest. Look at that, huh? Atta girl. Who's got a gun,
I
huh?
got a gun.
Yeah, you got a gun. Feels good, huh? I don't care who they are. You do not hesitate. You pull that trigger. You got it. Atta girl. There you go.
Dumont is outside her apartment, so Billy explores her place. He discovers notes from his therapy sessions. Meanwhile, he encounters Curtis outside. Russo requests Curtis's help by asking him questions about who is behind him and why, as Billy is struggling with memory issues and doesn't remember much. Curtis refuses to answer any of Billy's questions, and so he leaves. Amy becomes a waitress at the New York Academy of Medicine to approach Nikolai and show him the secret photographs. Afterward, she hastily leaves. Nikolai sends his bodyguards after Amy, but she manages to escape safely.
Hey!
When Nikolai reaches his car, Frank intervenes, kicking out his driver and kidnapping him. After having breakfast at the restaurant, Dinah exits and senses John chasing her. She quickly reacts, pointing her gun at him and demanding to know who he is and why he's following her. John reveals that he knows about the secret connection between her and Frank, threatening to expose it unless she discloses the whereabouts of Amy and Frank. Despite the pressure, Dinah remains silent and instead takes a photo of John. He silently departs from the scene. Dinah then heads to the forensic lab and instructs the lab attendant to collect John's fingerprints to determine his identity. Frank takes Nikolai outside the city and pressures him to reveal every detail related to the photos. Nikolai divulges that Eliza and Anderson Schultz are a powerful couple with a son named David, who is a senator in the government. They've groomed David to become the next president. But there's a complication because David likes the company of men, and in the photos, he's seen intimately with his male partners. Frank questions why Nikolai doesn't want David to be president, to which Nikolai admits he desires control over David. Nikolai then inquires inquires if Frank killed Kazan, but Frank denies it. Nikolai warns that whoever killed Kazan will come after them eventually. He also offers Frank money in exchange for the photographs, suggesting that he and Amy can leave the country with the cash. However, Frank refuses the offer, stating that he doesn't want to work with the Russians. He's about to kill Nikolai, but he comes to know that he has a 17-year-old daughter.
I would ask one favor, not in the face. I would spare my wife and daughter that at least.
Your daughter?
Almost 17. Natalia, she plans to be a musician. I love to watch her play.
You think you feel me, you get out of town, you never come back.
Thank you, Mr. Kessel.
And do it for you.
Frank leaves him alive and advises him to leave the country along with his family. Billy meets with a group of veterans at a bar for drinks. One of the veterans, Jimbo, comes in and asks for help, saying that the traffic police are about to tow his car. So Billy and the other members go outside, attack the police, and take the car back. Later, one of the veterans suggests that they could form a powerful team and do something big, like a bank robbery. Billy likes the idea, however. The police arrest Jimbo, who then reveals that Billy is behind the incident. Curtis realizes that Billy has assembled a team and is planning to cause widespread destruction in the city. Nikolai is preparing to leave the country with his family and bodyguards after Frank's warning. Brett visits Dumont and requests all the therapy data on Billy. She hands over the file, but doesn't reveal that Russo is hiding in her apartment. After Brett leaves, Billy confronts Dumont, accusing her of wanting to control him. He becomes furious and attacks her, but then he feels a sudden shift in emotion and kisses her. Curtis calls a meeting with Dinah and Frank to plan how to deal with Billy. He informs them that Russo has formed a team with some veterans and that they are very dangerous. He stresses that they must control this group. He convinces Frank that their top priority should be Billy rather than John Pilgrim. Frank agrees, but insists that he will handle Billy in his way.
As far as that maniac on your phone, that's my problem, and I'll deal with it.
We deal with Billy Russo first, and everything else comes after.
I'm gonna do it my way. And you gotta be right with that.
Frank informs them that he already has a plan to deal with Russo, but Dinah, skeptical, questions Frank's resolve, reminding him that he left Russo alive the last time they confronted him. Frank, visibly angry, retorts that he can do it, but emphasizes that it's not easy for him because Russo was his best friend. Curtis steps in to calm the tension and mentions that he knows someone who might have information about Russo's location. Frank, eager to move forward, asks for the address. Dumont and Billy are having a romantic night. During their time together, Billy notices a mark on Dumont's body and asks her about it. She explains that she got the mark from an accident when she was 9 years old. Billy doesn't press further and instead thanks her for helping him through tough times. Billy then tells her that they can't stay together anymore and that he has to leave. Dumont becomes very upset, not wanting him to go. She warns him about the dangers outside. Billy reassures her, saying that she doesn't need to put her life in trouble because of him, and then leaves her apartment. Dinah is in the forensic lab, investigating fingerprints to uncover the identity of John. The forensic scientist informs her that the fingerprints do not match the person she is trying to identify. The scientist adds that someone may have manipulated the system, further complicating the investigation. Curtis and Frank arrive at Nelson's place to ask about Billy, but they don't find anyone there. They decide to head to the bar where veterans often go to drink, hoping to gather some information. Meanwhile, Russo is training his group of veterans to prepare for their upcoming robbery. They plan to stay at their training location for the night. However, Jake struggles with his addiction and secretly sneaks out to the bar. Curtis and Frank enter the bar, scanning the room for familiar faces. As they approach the bar counter, they spot Jake Nelson. Seeing his agitated state, they realize he might have valuable information about Russo's whereabouts. Frank and Curtis confront Jake, who is initially defensive but eventually agrees to talk, hoping to get help for his addiction in return. The CIA director meets with Dinah to discuss the Russo situation. Dinah confides that she has secretly hired Frank to deal with him. She expresses her concerns and doubts about Frank's ability to handle the situation, feeling upset and confused about whether he will be able to resolve it. The CIA director advises Dinah to trust Frank and allow him to handle the case in his way. She reassures Dinah that Frank has the skills and determination needed to take care of Russo, and that sometimes unconventional methods are necessary to deal with dangerous individuals like him. Frank tortures Jake brutally.
Feel it? One more time. Where is he?
I said stop! You're out of control.
Oh, Christ, don't stop. Start with me. Well, Madani, you ain't got the stomach for this. Just walk away.
Curtis then approaches Jake to treat his injuries. While tending to him, he says that Billy was once a very good friend of both him and Frank, but Russo ultimately betrayed them. He advises Jake to cooperate and tell them what he knows about Russo. Feeling the pressure, Jake finally gives in and reveals Billy's future robbery plan. He also provides the location of Russo's hideout, giving Frank and Curtis the information they need to take the next steps in their mission to stop Russo. Dinah, determined to ensure justice is served, decides to involve Detective Brett in dealing with the case of Russo. She warns Frank and Curtis to stay out of it, fearing their involvement will complicate matters further. However, Frank disregards Dinah's warning and heads straight to Russo. Meanwhile, Billy and his friends launch an attack on the bank.
Hey! Oh! Get your hands up! Get on the wall! Now!
Let me put your hands together for me just like this.
Look at this. Russo! Get out of here, Jack! Right now! Russo!
You should have stayed in your hole, Bill. Billy, we have to go now! You should have stayed in your hole, Bill. God!
Hey!
You do this to me?
You goddamn right I did!
Detective Brett goes after Frank, getting closer to catching him, but Curtis steps in, pointing his gun at Mahoney, letting Frank escape. This tense moment leads to Mahoney adding Curtis to his list of targets, making the situation even more complicated between law enforcement and those connected to the Punisher. Billy and his team return to their hideout. One of the men confronts Russo, blaming him for the chaos and violence they've encountered with Frank. He demands his share of the robbery and expresses his desire to leave the situation behind. However, Russo responds by killing him. As Curtis sits in the car with Frank, he voices his concern about the potential risks of his actions, fearing that the police will come after him for pointing a gun at a policeman. Frank expresses his worry for Curtis, acknowledging the danger Curtis has faced because of their association. He insists that he can handle the situation on his own and doesn't want Curtis to put his life in danger any further. However, Curtis refuses to leave Frank alone. Billy goes back to Dumont's place feeling very angry and upset. He's having a hard time dealing with his emotions and is frustrated because he can't remember why his friend Frank wants to hurt him. Dumont tries to make him feel better and calm him down. Police arrives at Billy's hideout, so Frank follows them and hides nearby, watching everything unfold. After observing the situation, Frank goes back to his car and informs Curtis that Russo killed one of the hostages during the bank robbery. Curtis is upset and advises Frank to let the police handle the situation. He returns to his hiding place, where Amy attempts to practice a sneak attack on him.
That's your head all over that wall! Not like that! You got quick! You what? You what?
Be easy, man.
We make mistakes and people die. They die! A man died today because I dropped the ball, and you did too, right?
Please don't go.
Just stay put.
But you're coming back, right?
Brett meets with Dinah and discusses the bank robbery. He urges Dinah to cooperate with the police and share any information she has about Frank. Meanwhile, Billy and Dumont talk about Frank and Russo's confusion about their past. Russo wonders why Frank wants to kill him, but struggles to remember anything. Dumont tries to comfort him again, offering support during his confusion and distress. Frank brutally tortures Jake Nelson, but he insists he doesn't know Billy's current location. Curtis intervenes, urging Frank to stop and advising him to keep control of his actions. Meanwhile, Billy confronts Dumont, accusing her of hiding information about Frank from him, despite knowing about their past friendship. Russo expresses his distrust towards everyone, including Dumont, but she tries to explain herself. However, Russo becomes enraged and starts breaking things in her apartment. He threatens to push her out the window, but Dumont confesses her love for him and expresses her desire for him to become a better person, which is why she keeps things from him. Russo gathers his gang and gives them the option to either take all the robbery money and leave or use it to build their army and take control of the city. Curtis returns to his apartment alone, and Amy asks where Frank is. He responds that Frank is going after Billy. They begin discussing Frank's actions. Suddenly, Dinah arrives and informs Amy that John has threatened her. Dinah tells Curtis that the police is after him, but if he provides information about Frank and Billy, they might forgive him. However, Curtis doesn't want to betray Frank. Frank visits his wife's grave, reflecting on his past and the choices he's made. He returns to the apartment where he meets Curtis, Amy, and Dinah. He is worried and upset after visiting his wife's grave. Frank declares that he is the Punisher and vows to end Billy's story once and for all. Meanwhile, Russo forms his army, well-equipped with weapons, causing chaos and destruction everywhere. Later, Billy spends a night with Dumont. He tells her that he will soon leave his violent life behind and start a new life with her. But first, he needs to deal with Frank. John meets with Anderson to discuss the situation involving Frank and Amy, and Anderson advises him to take quick action, warning that if police gets involved, it could be dangerous for their political reputation. Curtis and Amy track down the location of Billy and his gang and inform Frank. Russo and his gang are seen enjoying themselves in a bar. One of the men, Merc, behaves inappropriately with a girl named Lenny who works at the bar. Billy enters and warns Merc not to mistreat the girls. Afterward, Russo's gang heads out to commit a robbery. Frank arrives at the scene and shoots Merc. Using Merc's hand, he unlocks the phone and discovers a photo of Lenny on it. Anderson meets with his son, and he is upset because he feels his father is more concerned about his political career than about him. Anderson advises David to go home, saying it will be beneficial for their political image. John meets with Danny, a bartender, and he shows him the pictures of Amy and Frank. He tells Danny that if he gets any information about them, to call him immediately. When he left, Danny informs his boss about John's presence. Meanwhile, Curtis and Amy are having a discussion. Amy expresses her frustration, calling John selfish for not informing them about his presence and updates. Curtis reassures her, saying that Frank is handling things and that he's also focused on his work. He tells her she's safe where she is. However, as soon as Curtis leaves, Amy packs her bag and runs away. Frank meets with Lenny in the bar to inquire about the location of Billy's gang. Lenny provides him with the information he needs, and Frank leaves the cut-off thumb of Merc there as a warning. As Frank is leaving the bar, he is attacked by some goons.
Someone's had enough of your castle. Put a bounty on your head. There's one of you and 6.
Let's talk.
Billy arrives at Dinah's place and discovers a diary. He waits for her to return and confronts her about their past. Billy mentions that he read in the diary about how they used to be close, but now she hates him. He admits he doesn't remember their past anymore. Dinah responds by calling him a psychopathic criminal, emphasizing that his lack of memory doesn't excuse his actions. Billy then asks why Frank is after him, and she explains that Frank seeks revenge because Billy's actions, driven by greed and ambition, led to the deaths of Frank's family. She accuses Billy of betraying his friends and selling out for money and status. After their confrontation, Billy leaves her place. Curtis meets with some veterans and asks for their help in finding Billy. They agree to assist him in his mission. Meanwhile, Frank calls Curtis to inform him that Amy is not in the apartment. Frank is angry with Curtis, blaming him for Amy's disappearance. Curtis shares Frank's concern and worries for Amy's safety. Amy, on the other hand, meets with her old friend and asks for help in leaving the city. Despite Frank's call urging her to return, she decides to go far away. Frank promises to help her return safely himself. Russo confronts Dumont and discusses his meeting with Dinah and past events. Meanwhile, Amy's friend, motivated by greed, calls some goons and reveals Amy's location. She quickly alerts Frank and hides herself. One of the goons threatens Amy, prompting her to reveal herself. However, Frank arrives and intervenes, urging the goon not to harm Amy.
Look, he's not gonna kill you if you let me go.
Come up here and she's dead, you hear me? Hey!
Really good.
I killed him.
Right? Yeah.
Amy, come on. They made me do it.
Dinah arrives at Dumont's place and they begin discussing about Russo. Simultaneously, John reaches Danny's club, where the boss, with whom John had a history of betrayal, is waiting for him. He was in the gang with them and was the loudest. He was supposed to deliver $5 million to the boss, but his truck broke down and he ended up in jail. The boss doesn't care and tells him he will get no mercy.
You were a god. I was a sinner. And now I'm with the people who will inherit the earth. 6 feet of it. To be redeemed, you gotta pay for your sins in full. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. You have no mercy coming. I wasn't talking about me.
Amy returns with Frank, and later Curtis and Frank keep an eye on Russo's hideout. Curtis mentions that Frank has a $5 million bounty on him, and he jokingly teases Curtis about not considering it. They are unaware that Russo is watching them from a higher rooftop. Frank tells Curtis that he is a good man spreading positivity. Frank launches an attack on Russo's hideout, with Curtis helping him from the rooftop. However, Russo sets a trap, and Frank falls into it. Russo and his goons attack Frank, while Curtis fights off some crew members.
Break him and then finish him.
He attacks Russo's office, thinking Russo is there. But Frank is shocked to find the dead bodies of 3 girls. Upset by the innocent deaths, Frank realizes it was Russo's plan, knowing from Dinah that Frank never kills innocents, and feels burdened when he does. The SWAT team arrives and arrests Frank, who doesn't resist. Frank is in a very critical condition. He has been taken to the hospital for treatment, but he is more hurt mentally because he has killed 3 innocent girls. Curtis returns to his apartment, where Amy asks him about Frank and why he has not come back. Curtis tells her that the police have arrested Frank. Amy is quite upset and hears the news about the Punisher on the radio. She learns the name of the hospital where Frank is being treated. She tells Curtis they have to get Frank out because every killer is after him due to the $5 million bounty on his head. Amy then goes to the hospital. John is also in very bad condition. He calls his wife, but Eliza picks up the call and doesn't let him talk to her. Karen Page arrives at the hospital to see Frank, but the policeman doesn't allow her at first. After a little argument, he lets her in. She sees that Frank is in a very bad state. He opens his eyes and tells her that she shouldn't have come. Dinah still believes in Frank and thinks he is being set up. Frank is in mental pain, worrying about how he will face his family in heaven. Karen tries to console him, saying he didn't kill those girls on purpose, but Frank feels guilty because he fell into a trap created by Billy. Amy reaches the hospital disguised as a doctor. She tries to unlock Frank Castle's handcuffs. Coincidentally, Dinah also arrives there. She then receives a call from Billy, which she puts on speaker. Billy mocks Frank and says, "I want you to suffer like me." Karen says to Dinah that they need to confirm whether Frank killed those women intentionally or if it was a trap. On the other side, Eliza visits John and tells him that his wife has died. John has a mental breakdown and doesn't want to work with Eliza anymore. She threatens him, saying that if he doesn't complete his task, she will hurt his children. Dinah and Karen visit the scene where the 3 women were killed. The investigator tells them that the women were shot from a distance of 3 feet and their killer was on the same floor. Dinah quickly realizes that Frank didn't kill them. She tells Karen that they were executed intentionally and that only Billy could have done something like this. One of the policemen finds Frank and says the $5 million bounty is a lot. Frank doesn't resist, seeming ready to die.
No! You touch her, I'll kill you! Hey, let her go! God damn it, you let her go!
Come on! Scratch her! Frank, you didn't do it. You didn't kill those women. Billy set you up. You're not the monster. You never were.
Before leaving, Karen triggers the hospital alarm. In the resulting chaos, Dinah takes advantage and helps Frank escape. However, Brett intercepts them and kidnaps Frank in an ambulance. John follows them in a police car and starts shooting at the ambulance. Brett drives quickly, but John crashes into the ambulance, causing it to fall off a bridge. Dinah arrives and searches for him, but John cleverly steals Dinah's car and escapes. Frank is still alive in the wrecked ambulance, though his shoulder is dislocated. He resets his shoulder and notices a fire in the ambulance. Frank saves Detective Mahoney and pulls him out just before the ambulance explodes. He leaves Mahoney under the bridge. As Frank is about to leave, Mahoney grabs his gun and points it at Frank, but he walks away without reacting. John is injured but checks the GPS in Dinah's car and finds the address of Curtis's apartment. The news report that Frank is missing and are broadcast on every channel. Dumont and Billy are watching the news. Billy responds that he is going to finish some paperwork and then they will go far away. Brett tells Dinah that Frank saved his life. She then receives a call from Dumont, who is trying to gather information about Frank. Frank reaches the house of Senator David, starts beating him, and kidnaps him. John reaches Frank's apartment and points a gun at Curtis, demanding information about Frank and Amy.
hell are you?
It has been a testing day. Have you seen? How do you know Dinah Madani?
Even cops need a little booty call every now and then, right?
Castle and the girl.
Who?
Like Peter, you deny this man. And while I admire your bravery, I do not believe you.
Curtis! Curtis, we got him out! He's...
Billy arrives at his gang's hideout. His friend complains that Billy didn't let them kill Frank, and now Frank is free, which is dangerous. Billy tells them they can take the money and leave. Billy also wants to end this chapter because he wants to live a happy life with Dumont. Frank returns to the apartment and finds Curtis injured. He tells Frank that someone came looking for him and Amy. He fought the intruder and Amy ran away, but he doesn't know where she is now. Frank becomes upset and worried. He brings David to the apartment and asks him where his friend took the girl. David insists he doesn't know anything. Meanwhile, John returns to his car, unaware that Amy is hiding in the trunk. Frank explains the whole story to David. He insists he doesn't know anything and says he couldn't kill anyone. Frank realizes that David's parents are involved in the massacre to protect David's secret. Amy takes a gun and starts looking for John. Dinah reaches Dumont's place and tells her that when she was with Frank, Billy called and said some quotes that she heard from her. Dumont becomes worried that her secret is about to be exposed. She hits Dinah and they start fighting. Dinah throws Dumont out of the window. Dumont is seriously injured but still alive. As she lies there, she remembers a past event where she fell from a height as a child. Billy enters the apartment and starts firing wildly, but Dinah shoots him quickly, injuring him. Billy then knocks Dinah down and starts hitting her. They fight, and Dinah gets knocked unconscious. However, Billy doesn't kill her and ends up unconscious as well. Meanwhile, the Schultz couple takes John's children to their place and plans to adopt them. Eliza says that John must be dead because he can't provide a bright future for his children. Anderson receives a call from David's phone, but it's Frank calling. Frank greets Anderson, who becomes worried and asks where his son is. Frank shows him David and explains that since John's taken Frank's friend, he's taken Anderson's son in return. Frank starts beating David during a video call, and Eliza tells Frank that he will get Amy back. John receives a call from his son, who informs him that Frank has kidnapped David and wants Amy in exchange. John lies, saying that Amy is with him. Eliza tells John to give Amy back to Frank and save David, or else he will never see his children again. Dinah comes back to her senses, but Billy has already left. Brett arrives and tells Dinah to go to the hospital as soon as possible. Amy calls Frank and he heads to John's location, and they start shooting at each other. Billy finds a doctor and demands him to remove the bullets without using anesthesia. The doctor tells him that he won't be able to survive without anesthesia and that he has only done smaller surgeries. But Billy insists, and the doctor begins to pull out the bullets. Due to the intense pain, Billy falls unconscious. Taking advantage of the situation, the doctor steals Billy's money and runs away. David tells Curtis that he can't believe his parents are capable of such actions, but Curtis does not comment. David then questions him about why he has taken him hostage. Considering Curtis is not like Frank, Billy regains consciousness in a garbage bin and manages to get out. Meanwhile, Frank returns to the apartment and finds David and Curtis missing. He becomes very worried. Frank receives a call from John and lies, saying that David is with him. Amy tells John that he's in a bad situation and that Frank will kill him. She questions what he has gained from killing so many innocent people. John responds that he doesn't want to kill anyone, but feels he has no other option. He admits that he knows they are using him because they have his family. Curtis and David go to Brett and tell him that Frank has kidnapped a senator. David insists that Frank is a good person. Brett tells Curtis that he'll let him go this time, but warns that he won't be lenient in the future if Curtis commits a crime. Frank waits for John and Amy. When John arrives, Frank lies, saying David is inside the apartment with a bomb.
You sick? You some kind of maniac?
They had my sons. I understand you didn't have a chance to save your kids.
Yes, right.
Here we are.
The one whose head you got that gun on, you see. I'd do anything for her. Anything. What are you gonna do here? You gonna kill another kid? Is that who you are? Hey. Listen to me. There's your thing, John. There is none in there.
Where is he? Huh?
Wait. Don't hurt my boys. I know who you are. You're the whirlwind.
Curtis returns home and receives a call from Billy, who is in his basement, seriously injured and begging for help. At the hospital, Dinah visits Dumont and apologizes. She admits that she loves Billy. Dinah reveals she shot him, and Dumont says that Billy is strong and will seek revenge. Dinah just smiles and leaves.
Curtis here. I knew you'd come. And of course it's you. Should have known. Whatever I've done, I'm
Brett, Dinah, and Curtis arrive, and the case is closed. The Schultz couple is having dinner when Amy arrives and points a gun at Eliza, and as Anderson stands up and shouts to lower her weapon, Frank shows up and shoots Eliza in the head. He places a gun and a bullet in front of Anderson, giving him the choice to end it here or face worse consequences, like the truth being revealed to the world. John watches and takes his kids in car, going separate ways from Frank. The next day, Frank takes Amy to a bus station so she can start a new life. She hugs Frank and cries. 3 months later, Frank is watching some dumb kids planning something. He gets a call from Dinah, who has joined the CIA and offers him a job. Frank declines, saying he is the Punisher and has some work to do.
Oh, you want to dance? Is that what this is?
I'll dance with you.
Sometime later, Matt, Karen, and Foggy are celebrating the retirement of their friend in a bar. Suddenly, Foggy gets a phone call and becomes scared. He tells Matt that his client is in danger. So Matt quickly suits up and starts climbing the buildings, unaware that a deadly assassin named Bullseye set up a trap for him.
Just stay here. Keep calling him.
He wanted to know where you were. I'm sorry.
He said someone's looking for you.
Hello, Karen.
They're gonna be right here. They're gonna be here any minute.
Active shooter of Josie's bar. Active shooter of Josie's bar.
It's okay. You stay with me. They're gonna be right here. They're gonna be here any minute, okay? You just
As I sit here on the other side of the court, it occurs to me that justice will not be served today. It won't be served because I don't get to see him again. Killed on the whim of a violent and disturbed man, a self-styled assassin. In the absence of justice, the court can't punish this man, because that punishment, that is the closest any of us will ever get to justice.
If you would like to respond, I will allow that before sentencing.
I have nothing to say, Your Honor.
You are hereby sentenced to life in prison for each count to be served consecutively.
Fisk delivers a live speech pledging to transform New York City and restore trust in the law while criticizing vigilantes like Punisher, Spider-Man, and Daredevil.
We don't need a gun-toting vigilante who wears a skull on his chest, or a man who dresses in a spider outfit. And that is that the rule of law will return to New York City. The city that bore me, that elected me. Happy New Year.
Next morning, a man named Hector Ayala goes into the subway station to catch a train. He sees two men beating up another man. Looking at the situation, Hector thinks that the two men are thugs trying to rob an innocent person.
Hey, buddy, this doesn't concern you.
NYPD, do not move!
Those guys tune you up?
Doesn't matter. I didn't call you. How did you get in here?
You know they're saying you killed a cop.
The story they put on the platform never said they were cops.
Look, I didn't push him, I swear. I wasn't trying to kill anybody. That's not me.
Is there anything you're not telling me?
No, man. Nothing. They can't afford you.
Don't worry about that. I'd still like to represent you.
Kirsten and Cherry meet Hector's ex-wife, Danny, to discuss his case. Danny is worried about Hector's survival, but Cherry reassures her that Matt and Kirsten are skilled lawyers. Danny allows them access to Hector's room, where they find a white tiger suit, revealing that Hector has been hiding something.
Someone's got to protect the streets.
We talked for hours and you neglect to tell me that you moonlight as a vigilante.
I wasn't in a suit.
This is a one-off event. I find out you're going out at night looking for trouble.
I'm not looking for trouble. Not like Daredevil's around anymore. Come out there every night, put my life on the line for them.
And your wife agree with that choice?
You're right, I'm sorry. I should have told you.
All right, hang in there, okay? I'll make some calls, see what I can do.
You intervened that night because you're a hero.
Matt, don't do this.
Are you the vigilante known as the White Tiger?
Objection!
Hector Ayala goes out and risks his life. And whether Hector Ayala is wearing a white tiger suit or not, he's a hero.
Has the jury reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor. In the matter of the people versus Hector Ayala, the jury finds the defendant not guilty.
You're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
There's no further comment at this stage. Thank you.
Fisk watches the news, and after seeing it, he calls BB to his office. When she arrives, he gives her an interview and expresses his strong disapproval of the court's decision to release Hector.
These vigilantes are a threat. A man who wears a mask to cover his face is a coward. These vigilantes, they are not heroes. I ran on a promise.
The rule of law must prevail.
Matt is deeply upset about Hector's death. Matt drops a small bottle, which rolls down the slope and into a drain. He follows it and finds the bottle along with the shell, which has the Punisher's logo on it. This makes Matt realize that the Punisher might be involved in Hector's death. Matt immediately goes to Frank Castle.
Frank! It's me, Inspector!
What are you doing here? Guess whose logo I found on the bullet casing?
What's that got to do with me?
Yeah, nothing to do with you, right? Although here's a thought. You know, you could use all this. Could be a service.
You prance around the city in a Halloween costume, beating the snot out of bad guys. Hey,
Tell me, what's going on, buddy? What are you doing down here? Day after day.
I'll tell you what I think, Ray.
Tell me. Tell me what you think.
I don't think you came here for my help. You want to get your hands on somebody, huh? You want to hurt them?
But, yeah, no, sorry, buddy. Way off on that one. I'm gonna come back another day, Frank. Maybe catch you at a better time.
Let that friend of yours, you save his life.
It's not about him.
Say his name, you coward! Say his name!
We are then shown the same port where Fisk had planned to get repairs done. Maintenance work is going on, but while the workers are doing their job, one of them finds a dead body. This body has no blood left in it, and the person's eyes have been brutally gouged out. Looking at this dead body, it becomes clear that the person who killed him and drained all the blood is none other than Muse. When Fisk hears this, he feels really disturbed.
Are you Muse? Is it cool if we take a picture of you?
Seeing this situation, Fisk decides to create his own special task force.
This city is in a crisis. A serial killer is roaming our streets.
Why us?
All of you throughout your careers have shown initiative. When you need to get the job done, it requires a little creative thinking. Consider yourself founding members of my anti-vigilante task force. I want you to show your face because you are New York's finest. Isn't that right? Okay.
Matt quickly gets ready and goes to the location that Angela had told him about.
I can imagine that Vanessa would like for me to let you go. But that's a difficult thing for me to do. When I was younger, smaller, I went up against men 3 times my size. And I learned that a simple tool, it can be a great equalizer.
Do thou make us by his intercession steadfast in the pursuit of justice. Through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Daredevil?
I'm here.
Police are already conducting an investigation. When Daredevil sees the paintings, he notices one that looks like Heather's face.
Hey!
Shit.
Facial recognition ID this sketch is Heather Glenn, a psychiatrist downtown.
The task force can handle this.
Bastion, what are you doing?
My name is Muse. It was you. You understand who I am.
Muse, where are you going with all of this?
Don't you care about all the people you killed? Huh? Do you feel nothing?
No, not yet.
What the hell is that? You've kidnapped me and then you're gonna what, shoot me? Huh?
Hey.
Look at you.
Approaching the north entrance. Stand by the breach. News is dead. Secure the building.
Next day, Dex is kept in a special high-security cell. Suddenly, some police officers arrive and move him out of the special cell and place him with other regular prisoners, and he realizes that his life is in danger.
I'm supposed to...
Matt becomes sure that it was Fisk who got Foggy killed. To confirm his suspicion, Matt goes to the prison to meet Dex. He questions him about why he killed Foggy.
I respect you. Shut your mouth. I don't want your respect. Why does Fisk want you dead? Did he hire you to kill Foggy Nelson?
Because that's what this is all about, right?
You did it for someone. Huh?
Another night in here, I might never be able to answer that for you.
Oh, sweetheart, what do you want? What you want me to do? You want me
You
to...
want to be defending me. Because that's what good men do. Defend their worst enemies. You want to know if Fisk hired me? I can tell you.
He started smashing his face against the table.
Thank you, counsel.
The scene shifts to a party where Fisk is present with his wife, Vanessa. We find out that this party is just a cover. Fisk actually wants to use it to gather money from the rich guests to fund the construction of a port in the city.
Or loop and stitch, and that should do it. All right, let's get you back to... Stop! Mother...
Rough day, huh?
One of Fisk's men comes and whispers in Fisk's ear that Dex has escaped from prison. Hearing this, Vanessa gets very shocked and nervous. She tells Fisk that she needs to talk to him about Dex. Using his sharp senses, listens to their whole conversation secretly. This makes Matt realize a shocking truth, that it was not Fisk who got Foggy killed by Dex, but actually Vanessa.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Mind if I cut in?
I know you had Foggy killed.
Your boyfriend seems a little...
Did he know you had Foggy killed?
Does Heather know you're Daredevil?
You will pay for what you did.
They're gonna go out there and hunt down not only Poindexter, but all vigilantes. I want the bridges shut down. I want the tunnels closed.
Sir?
Now you all have a job to do. Buck, one moment, please. Tell me what's Matt Murdock's condition.
Many people, including Buck, reach the hospital to kill Matt. But Matt, using his senses, realizes that people are after him.
You're pretty much the last person I expected to find here.
Power goes out. You got nothing to make a goddamn pot of coffee in this house.
Well, I thought this wasn't your fight.
Yeah, well, we got a phone call. Changed my mind. I tell you right now, they come up here, I'm not playing patty cake with these fanboys. I'm chopping them up, you understand me? You got a new costume, nightgown man.
How about you? After shaving a haircut?
Surprise violence of action, guys. It's new.
They're on the move.
Hey, we found your guy.
Frank Castle's here.
You killed Hector Ayala. Do it, Red. Come on, he's not worth it. He's not worth it, Frank.
You worth it? How about that, huh? What is wrong with you? Run!
Karen Page arrives in her car and they go to Frank's base. Karen also helps treat Matt's injuries. It is revealed that Karen herself had asked Punisher to come and save Daredevil. The Punisher goes to fight the task force, but they are too many for him. They overpower and kidnap him. They torture and beat the Punisher badly.
I'm a big admirer of your work. Listen, Frank, everything that you do, you can do that with us. It'd be an honor to serve with you, Frank.
You admire me, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a bunch of clowns, you know that? Think you know my pain? Think you know my loss? You know how I see the world? A bunch of clowns.
Sorry to hear that, Frank.
Are you?
Karen and Daredevil reach the Red Hook port. Daredevil says he wants to fight everyone, but Karen tells him to be careful because he is injured. She says he should rest and recover first. She reminds him that the city needs him, and if something happens to him, who will save the city then? Daredevil understands her point. Soon after that, Fisk comes on the news and announces that from now on, a curfew will start every night at 8 p.m. He says strict action will be taken against all vigilantes. He says martial law is now active, meaning the army or police will control the city. Anyone who does anything illegal will be immediately executed. Fisk and Vanessa are having dinner. They look at a jail cell they have built where they are keeping many people locked up. All the vigilantes and anyone who is a threat to Wilson Fisk have been captured. That includes the Punisher as well.
What do they call you?
Anthony?
Anthony. Where you from?
Jersey.
Yeah.
You too, yeah?
That's right. That's right. Oh, boy. Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you, Anthony.
I really hope you guys enjoyed the recap, and if you did, then be sure to check out other videos on the channel, and as always, thank you very much for watching.